Newsflash! Penacony's Charmony Festival has entered its countdown phase. Accompanied by Clocky's TikToks, after 12 system hours, this grand celebration will commence with much fanfare.
I already told you! We can talk things out!
I'm sorry, Fluffy. I really have something urgent to attend to, so I had no choice but to resort to asking this favor of you all.
Since you already know what you're doing, I'll also have to remind you of its risks.
Hey, partner, what's with the hostility? I thought pulling this thing out was just a way of saying hello.
For the last time, state your identity and purpose.
My name's Boot Hill, and I'm a Galaxy Ranger.
A Galaxy Ranger?
You look like you seen a ghost. Did you think we all went extinct? Well, that's the price you pay for being off-grid for too long.
The righteous heroes of the hunt would never hijack the Astral Express.
I ain't hijacked anything. What, chatting with someone while holding the gun is considered a hijacking?
It probably is.
Pardon my frankness, but there are plenty of rumors in the cosmos regarding the Galaxy Ranger's current status, and none of them are pretty stories. I have a hard time believing you.
Oh, this is hilarious. The tale that this bunch of fools spin is getting out of hand. There's even a bit about the Galaxy Rangers being turned into gibbons by Dr. Primitive, and they're in some valley screwing around on swings. Of course, I know you won't believe me, which is also why, similarly, I have a hard time to see the bullets in this gun. 9mm, an eternal classic. I may need the Astral Express's help right now, but if you're an imposter just like that one, I can't allow myself to be exposed to danger. That's just the way it goes, so you all have to first prove yourselves. Huh? Where are you going?
Recognize.
It's a model fudger. The Jade Abacus.
Model fudger?
This is the Jade Abacus gifted to the Express by the Shenzhou Luofu's general, Jing Yuan. Is that enough?
Not bad, kiddo. And across these sprawling stars, a gentle squeeze is all it takes to rustle up a whole... Been ages since the Galaxy Rangers had the spotlight shown on them. And we ain't equipped with such fancy gadgets. Alright then. Feel free to toss any questions.
And why would I play along?
If I truly am a...
Alright then. Tell me.
Ah, my friend. This question is a hard one. I don't think I can even consider us an organization. Everyone's on their own fated path along the hunt, with their own resolute sense of righteousness and not so...
This reply does not instill trust. It only makes your predicament more...
I'm guessing you're gonna ask about some form of shared faith, right? But never bully the weak. Never kill the innocent. These oaths aren't something lofty. As Galaxy Rangers, we strictly adhere to the bottom line. And in this moment, the other crucial meaning of bottom line comes into play. So I already said that I seek no trouble. I must go to Penacony for a matter. But I don't have an invite. And
Aren't the Galaxy...
Oh, you've hit the nail on the head. This is why I'm here. It's fine if I tell you. The Rangers are pursuing an imposter. A son of a... My informant is a memo keeper. She's the same as all mimetic organisms, appearing one moment and gone the next. Ugh. She scares the fudge out of me. Still...
That Galaxy Ranger imposter.
Is that the third question?
Is it a hard question?
It isn't. Just that you might not believe me. That person calls herself Acheron. And according to our informant, she could be an emanator of nihility.
That's impossible.
That's what I said. Don't worry. When I first received the news, I had the exact same reaction as you.
IX never gives anyone so much as a first glance, and that's perfectly normal. What reason would they have to bequeath strength on—
Then you must know that emanators can also conceal their own identities, which, for many people, it's better that way. Otherwise, there'd be wanton blood. I had the good fortune of running into an elation emanator. Its appearance was no different than that of those clowns. If it weren't through sheer— Even in the purest hunt, you'll find the Xianzhou Alliance under the spotlight and Galaxy Rangers lurking in the shadows. Paths are inevitably concepts created by people. To reckon that nihility emanators don't exist, well... So, do you understand now? Your companions, we don't know what's happening in the dreamscape or how much of what the memo keeper said is true. And that Acheron...
I don't intend to do anything.
That's not up to you. Did you know? People who come to the land of dreams for the first time, they'll subconsciously stop to reaffirm that they're still walking on solid ground. Be it reality or dream, staring at the sky is instinctual for humanity. Since the day that the golden hour was completed. But now this night sky has been mercilessly severed, dyed with the mist of nihility. And this whole event happened within the course of a single slash of a blade.
A single slash of a blade isn't really accurate. It was actually 2 blades, just that the second one was faster.
That's many guests who weren't supposed to be invited have gathered at this banquet. The planet of festivities has no place for you, a puppet of nihility. Those who live in the shadows do not bear.
Speaking of living in the shadows, there's probably not much difference between us. Penacony's Dream Master.
That's just another reason. Whether you believe it or not, this is the real me. We are one.
Is this the unity that the family espouses?
My mortal shell has long since dissipated. The Oak family's 107,336 offspring.
From the sound of it, it seems like you're asking me to leave.
I am glad that you're an understanding one. Alas, I'm not asking.
If you think you can.
Are you threatening me?
I ended it with a period. It was a statement, not a threat. Knowing who I am and still showing such malice. You're not the first, nor will you be the last. This scene played out many times before. And usually, when faced with my questions, most people retort, "Why can't I?" The result has invariably been that they can't.
You are confident. But be reminded, the family is forgiving, but not weak. The 137 individuals, That is how many heathens I have exiled since I became Dream Master. Among them, and here I stand again, about to add another more.
And you will die. I mean, all of you will. But that won't come to pass. I'll do as you ask. I'll leave.
A wise choice.
I wasn't aware there was a choice.
To you, that surely is the only option. Please bear in mind, you and Penacony are of different worlds. Those born on the far bank cannot seek solace across the river. Leave and never return. The radiance of the planet of festivities is overwhelmingly bright, and even more so when this self-annihilator heralds the destruction of everything. Your strength is obviously a gift of the sleeping and shapeless, immeasurable and fathomless, like a tributary spawned from the abyss that brings death and sin to all. Acheron, a befitting name.
Take it from someone on the other side of your so-called river. You know better than I do that Penacony has already deviated from the Harmony. Whatever your intentions may be, I foresee only one outcome. Its future holds nothing but nihility. Just like all the worlds that have drowned in their shadow.
Attention, please. The unusual event that occurred moments ago was due to a technical malfunction at Clock Studios theme park. The family has promptly
Oh, I swear that was no movie shoot. So many chips fell from the sky, and I even caught one of them. But it...
Excuse me. Are you talking about the Clock Studios theme park incident?
Yeah, what about it? Oh, Miss Robin! Am I seeing?
No need to worry. I apologize for any inconvenience caused to your
Oh, it was just... those chips you normally see everywhere. The green ones? They've...
And then those chips simply disappeared. It appears to...
Huh? Miss Robin, you mean... the...
Shh. This technology hasn't been made public yet. It was originally planned to debut at the Charmony Festival. Can you help me keep this secret? The raining chips were supposed to be part of...
Oh, I see! Then it all makes...
Thank you. As appreciation.
Oh.
Press it at just the right moment in the celebration. All right. It looks like there are other guests who are also confused. So many people talking about it. This commotion at the theme park definitely made waves.
The family promised they would protect the guests within the dreamscape, but I witnessed the family needs to provide a reasonable explanation, or I'll take my
It appears the good sir has seen many great events. And however, their target is not the ordinary guests, but the ambassadors of the IPC.
Miss Robin, I know the Bloodhound family has already sealed. The family can try their best to protect their reputation, but as a guest...
But as you can see, sir, and perhaps the dreamscape is not as perfect as promised, but there's no place safer than dreams under the family's rule. I believe you know this better than I do. If this is...
I could stay here, but keep in mind, guests come to Penacony to enjoy the dreamscapes. They do...
Of course. With the Charmony Festival about to commence, we will spare...
You've had quite a bit to drink.
Hello. May I ask...
Nothing to be worried about. There's been a small rehearsal.
Hey, are you a fool? You don't even...
I'm sorry. I've just been transferred to the blood...
Hey, don't sweat it. You guys have a tough...
Oh, we've sealed off the theme park. Most guests are used to bizarre phenomena in the dream...
Rest assured, Miss Robin, we'll intensify our patrols to ensure...
I trust you guys. But regarding what happened in the theme park, what do you...
well...
Actually, I was there shortly after it happened. Is it true that the IPC's ambassador...
Miss Robin, tell you the truth, everyone's been talking about it. The myriad factions on Pen...
Thank you all for your loyalty towards the family. The planet of festivities has indeed run into... Of course the family did not agree. The result of...
No wonder. So this is the main reason why the IPC staff are banned from entering the dreamscape.
Don't worry. Mr. Sunday is currently tracking his whereabouts, and he'll have something to show for it soon. However, given the situation, the IPC...
Please be assured, Miss Robin, we take our orders.
Thank you for your hard work. If there are any other members who still feel uneasy, this is a small gift prepared by the Iris family for the guests.
I can't believe I received a gift from Miss Robin.
If trouble comes knocking on our door, we're not afraid to go to war. Rest assured.
Miss Robin? That's the renowned...
I didn't expect to meet a fan here. I'm honored.
I can't believe I'm actually meeting the real...
Preparation is important, but the ceremony is fundamentally about sharing the Great One's harmony with everyone. If there's a chance to sing regarding the recent mishap, I understand it.
But, are you sure it was actually a mishap? Everyone saw... Plus, I met that generous gentleman. He looked really out...
Everyone, please do not panic.
Even if you say so, Miss Robin. It's hard.
Some people just never listen, do they? It's never ending.
Miss Robin?
Still, I suppose I should keep on helping everyone.
Huh?
Here, take this, little guest. Make sure to take good care of it until the opening of the Charmony Festival. You never know.
We're back to where it all began. You entered the golden hour from this place. It is a pleasure to journey alongside you once more. But I know you have many questions. Do you remember when we encountered death in that instant before it killed me? So, following the clues in the script, I came up with some theories about the meme. That's why I instructed Silverwolf to issue invitations. I intended to call upon death before you arrived. To solve the riddle using more direct means. And then invite you to join. It is how you see now. I was impaled by the bladed wings of death. The heavy pressure of but after the momentary numbness subsided, I was still alive. And it was just as I thought. I had arrived at a place starkly different from this beautiful and so then I returned to the hotel in the dreamscape hoping to tell you of its existence. Yet and after all my attempts proved futile. It wasn't until not long ago when a crimson blade of light, and that's it, that is all. I know it's tough to believe all this without reservations. Now, take a deep breath and visualize the dreams. 3, 2, 1. Don't be afraid. never knew you could do this. Do you have a driver's?
I do.
That is...
Why? Because this is Japella, the city of sins?
I'm just thinking that you haven't slept in...
I'm fine. I'll survive.
I'm not so sure about that.
Infiltration is over. Feel free to activate Sam anytime.
There's still some time before the next part of the script unfolds. Such a long tunnel.
In half a system hour, it will lead us to Kafka. And then comes the downfall of it. It's in your script too.
Sorry.
Their destiny won't change just because of your selective ignorance. I told you before.
What about you then? Is this...
As always, it's a blank slate. It's not...
Because I'm currently in a car with a sleep-deprived driver.
This car has full...
Elio would always say there's only one type of destiny. The innocent... But before that moment arrives, we can still choose what we...
After today, Japella's name will disappear from cosmic history. And the Everflame that's your next stop.
Land of the dream.
I hope you find whatever...
Yeah. Glad to see you're safe and sound.
Close your eyes. This is the answer. Isn't it incredible? The monster that we have...
The question that has been perplexing us, does death really exist in the dreamscape, appears to be a cognitive trap. It was laid by those orchestrating events from the Every emergence of that meme is related to the Watchmaker. Since Dreamflux Reef is where it brings its captives, it's likely...
The atmosphere here is starkly different from the beautiful dream. There are no regulators here like the family. But from the whispers of the residents, they've heard...
It's that man again. Always in the right place at the right time. Himiko and March have already made a move. Get ready. We're about...
The real dreamscape. The land of the exiles. Before we go, should we speak to everyone first?
I'm really sorry for waiting until... 2 reasons. Firstly, the script. In the future that Elio, that aside, there were also my personal motives. Thank you. Elio only gave me one instruction. Allow the Astral Express to pursue the Great. Elio's scripts used to revolve and expand around certain specific Stellarons. But with your... Do you still remember that medical cabin I told you about? Well, that's Sam. It belongs to the Iron Cavalry of Glamoth's firmament. It is the cradle of my vitality. And the meaning of my birth. The timescale of Dreamflux Reef differs from reality, so we mustn't lower our guard.
Something on your mind? Let's talk about... No wonder Miss Acheron is so averse to drawing her blade. It's hard to imagine such terrifying power could reside in an... Don't feel burdened by this. Even without that Stellaron inside you, Aventurine would still have found other methods. During your investigation, he shared a vital piece of information. Mikhail, the former watchmaker who collapsed, but this is precisely where the problem lies.
You were clearly, and now with Firefly mentioning his name again. Before we found you, she'd already revealed her Stellaron hunter identity. Who would have thought that the Molten Knight's true identity was actually a young girl? For her, this is but she didn't reveal all her secrets. I just can't shake the feeling that I hope you've regained a little composure. The atmosphere in this fortress is pretty different from...
When I first saw it, I was in awe too. What's even more bizarre is that this place is also separated into trade and
Though both dreamscapes have distinct styles, the architectural designs are quite similar. Works, but there's no point in overthinking.
Take a right turn at the end of this road and you'll reach the trade district. The Astral Express likely needs room for some internal deliberation.
Sure. Letting her go was the right decision. Further observations are needed before we decide whether... Let's go. I'm sure... Not exactly. I've only met him once. Look, over there. The Reverie Hotel's bellboy. How did he end up here? And right after Miss Acheron severed... We'd better check, just...
Trash can is perfect! Huh? You're the guest from before. We meet again! And a new friend.
Hello, Misha. I'm Welt. We met in a dream. Oh.
Tick-tock! Old friend and new friend!
Your, memory?
Nope. Clocky is a good friend of mine. We all live here. How did you two get here? This dreamscape isn't supposed to be open to the public.
So, this...
Yep. After my work in the beautiful dream ends, I'll go back home. Commuting used to be more convenient, but ever since travel became cumbersome, Sleepy started... Sleepy is a memory zone meme. Looks fierce and has many eyes. But it's actually really well behaved. Gallagher's been taking care of it.
Based on the description, that meme is indisputably death.
Death? Not in a dream, surely. Sleepy's just a little aggressive, and sometimes messes up by fetching the wrong guess. But it would never hurt anyone.
I see. Has it brought back any guests recently? Say...
I see. Then you'll have to speak with Gallagher. But he's currently busy hosting a visitor from the Oak... Mr. Yang? Is it Miss Robin?
Just as I thought. Consider...
If you're looking for Miss Robin, I can lead the way. She told...
If it's not too much trouble. Also, we're looking for our missing companion.
Oh, I haven't. But please, rest assured. Dreamflux Reef is a small place, and it's not as bustling as the... how about this? Since it's your first time here in Dreamflux Reef, I'll be your guide and help you find your companions. And then we can all go... She's gone to Mrs. Grace's to visit the children. She won't be leaving anytime soon.
All right, then. Well, we now know the answer to both murder cases that have caused such commotion. Yes, and I believe their relationship with Gallagher may run deep. Why else would they be... Say, you mentioned before... I can't shake off this strange feeling. Forget it.
Everyone, look! From here, you can see the most
A black hole? No. An accretion disk formed from consolidated memoria? Was Dreamflux...
Oh, so Mr. Yang is also versed in memoria dynamics. I was just trying to figure out how to explain this huge hole to everyone.
My calculations are finally done. In another 10 system hours, the above dream will swallow the dream below. My hypothesis... Who are you all, and why haven't you left yet? I'm Kanie. a dreamscape surveyor specializing in Memoria dynamics. And this is my life's work that I see that huge gaping hole? It was just a narrow rift many years ago, but now it's grown into a giant hole. But the scary part is, according to my calculations, the flow rate of Memoria has recently changed, and it's faster than ever before. By constantly improving upon Madame Rosalina's Memoria measurement, after 10 system hours, the Dreamflux Reef will cease to exist! Just like the melting of—
Please don't worry. This sort of thing has happened many times before. Miss...
You don't say.
Oh, do you know her too?
We're very interested in
Why, of course! She's an excellent scholar of Memoria dynamics, and regrettably, due to the presence of the Garden of Recollection, ordinary people don't pay much attention to the nature of Memoria. She departed this— I came to Penacony to learn more about my idol, and went to great lengths to seek out Dreamflux Reef, all because this is her final resting place. Prodigies always meet their demise prematurely. I felt it. The source is in the golden hour. There is a certain anomalous presence stirring the currents of the memory zone. I must uncover more concrete proof. I must convince everyone.
Does the name Madame Rosalie? That's right. It seems like she did a great deal of research and—
Miss Katie regularly mentions her. I hear Madame Rosalina passed away during the prison war. Our destination is the commercial district. That's where the largest crowds gather in Dreamflux Reef. We might be able to find the others there.
Ghost! There's a ghost!
Oh my. I'm human and so are you. Mr. Yang and Miss Trail, quickly, come help. I bumped into a member of the family.
Let me go! Let me go! I've only done good in my—
Well, this is... Ha ha, you're a regular comedian. He thinks he's dead. Although, what—
Dear guest, this is not—
That's right. Did you hear that? Repeat.
You're talking to someone invisible. If I'm not dead, what am I? Stop asking! You'll alert—
You're not talking—
Don't say that name!
he passed out. His intense negative emotions attracted the nearby memory.
I see.
But unlike in the Sweet Dream, people here don't see Memory Zone memes as dangerous monsters. And even if they pose a threat, people can easily But we can't just leave this man here. Can we take him—
We can ask Jessie for help. I've gotten to know many locals while waiting for you guys. Evening, Jessie.
Welcome, Miss March. Who might be—
These two are my friends. As for the man—
I see. Another poor guy. There have been a lot of new faces lately. Things must be tough in the beautiful dream. The few remaining havens of freedom in Asdana will soon face trouble.
Do such things—
Not really, but they're becoming more frequent now. Guess it's one of the signs of the sweet— This man has had quite the shock. Could you help me find a Halovian lady, Mark?
A Halovian lady?
That must be Robin. She's—
Huh? Robin? But I thought she— Oh, right. If Fire—
Misha's about to take us to her to find out what happened. But before that, let's meet up with Himiko.
We met some stowaways in the residential area. Most of them came from neighboring— I heard that places like Dreamflux Reef are scattered throughout the memory zone of Asdana, like islands in the ocean. I also heard that when Dreamflux Reef took shape, it was the center of all Dreamscape.
If that's true, it's no wonder there are so many—
Himiko must be gathering information. This is where we split up. She can't be too—
So that's how it is. I never imagined we'd gather the remain—
To borrow Gallagher's catchphrase—
Himiko, here they are!
Ah, perfect timing. Now that everyone's here, I'd like to introduce everyone to Micah, who's partly in charge—
It's a pleasure to meet the Nameless.
You
I've been keeping an eye on you since the day you arrived in Penacony. We would have met under more appropriate circumstances. Please, allow me to formally introduce...
Grave?
Life in Dreamflux Reef is pretty liberating. Everyone here mostly keeps to themselves, without meddling in others' affairs.
You're too modest, Micah. When lost dream chasers stumble upon this place, you're the one who takes care of them, guiding them back to the sweet dream. Or showing...
On that note, Mr. Mika,
they're actually just symbolic stones. But since you're curious, Mr. Yang, I'll take you there. I have a feeling you might find something. But before that, you have an important guest joining you.
An important guest? Who could it be?
This way, please. The roads here in Dreamflux Reef are a bit run down, so watch your step. There she is.
Everyone sang so wonderfully. It's not often that I tried this music.
Oh, I can't thank you enough, Robin. Well, these kids...
It was nothing, Grace. I merely taught them how to... Life must be quite difficult.
That's right.
Whenever it's time to say goodbye to these kids, they're reluctant to leave. But I've explored every corner of Dreamflux Reef. Talked to everyone I met. And they all...
It seems you... Emma and Andy are orphans I took under my wing. Carol there, with her blind eyes, used to work at a nutrition center in the outer ring of Penacony. And as for Gary, he's been living with autism. If we compare people to birds, these kids are like fledglings with impaired wings. But in this dream... And me, an old lady with no legs. Well, without this...
I'm glad that you found a new life here in
Don't worry, Robin. Dreams have their significance, but they aren't everything. Both the children and I understand. But you know what? Emma and Gary aren't plagued by their insecurities anymore. No. And Carol is... You see, in dreams, we learn how to live.
And should our feathers be damaged, there's no need to covet an illusory sky in dreams. Because we have the right...
It's a relief to see you safe and sound, Miss Robin.
It's nice to see you all again, Astral Express crew. I heard my disappearance.
Since you're here, can we assume that you're fully aware?
Ever since I returned to Penacony, my voice started to change, until it gradually faded away. At first, I thought it, but now it seems the root of the problem goes way beyond me.
The sweet dreams collapse.
That while I was away from Penacony, the boundaries of the 12 dreamscapes kept expanding outward. But whenever I mentioned the anomalies in my dreams, later, I discovered the secret letters from the IPC ambassador, which further convinced me that there are hidden secrets beneath the surface of Penacony. So, the land of the exiles, concealed by the family under the guise of death.
Hearing you speak, it sounds...
I hate to admit it, but the harmony in this place resonates more broadly than... It's regrettable. But the family has experienced betrayal. The traitor... or traitors... abandoned their original... This is not the strong defending the weak, but rather the strong exploiting the weak. A world without equality won't ever be favored by the harmony.
Could there be another force influencing the family's shift in philosophy? Considering what happened with Acheron, it's difficult to conceive of another entity within the realm of the harmony capable of influencing everyone. Unless...
I'd heard about what happened to the Xianzhou Alliance. But as far as I'm aware, the family hasn't faced any such external intervention. Regardless, I cannot accept my home is moving towards the... I must uncover the reason why Mikhail cut ties with the family, and who exactly it was who betrayed us all. I've decided to forgo my role, and never step foot on the...
Look here, brother. A little bird.
Looks like a fledgling, but Charmony doves don't live here. So...
It looks weak and frail.
This place is too dangerous for a fledgling. Let's take it with us. we can...
Okay. A bird like that.
I'll ask the family...
A cage?
Let's see. What is it that has captured the attention of the two best... Oh, Paul.
I do.
Why?
Even if it's small and not fully feathered, and can't sing, it didn't come into this world birds.
That's quite the road.
I think she's right. But if we leave it out in the wild...
Ah, I see. As you probably know, Charmony doves can fly through the air. When they fly really high, the friction... We've seen this spectacle so many times that we think it's just something they can naturally do. But that's not the truth. Their ancestors were too weak to survive on the ground. So, to escape predators, after countless attempts by many generations, one of them...
So, you mean...
Well, that's an idealistic way of putting it.
I think people believe birds are meant to fly because...
That's an interesting perspective.
For now, I'll keep it in a cage until I want...
Well said, kids. It seems each of you has found your...
We will take good care of it.
Yeah, but Mr. Gopherwood?
And what might...
What if this little charm... I mean, if there are fledglings, should we let them go back to the sky? Only to see them...
Talking in your sleep, birdie? Huh? Need a hand? Yeah. Happy about...
Where is Robin?
I knew that. Don't worry, your sister is here, safe. If I were you, I'd be more worried about myself.
If you wanted to kill me, you wouldn't give me the chance to speak. Just...
So, you figured out who I am, huh? No wonder you had the guts to go against the Dream Master and the Four Families.
Choice?
You are aware of my plan and see through my act. Time is running out. I'm suggesting we cooperate.
Cooperate?
The fact that the famous Robin has chosen my side. Plus, some clues about a traitor and a bright future.
I find it hard to believe a man who's full of deception.
Fine. You don't have to trust me. The sense of justice inside of you.
Show me Robin first.
All right. As you wish.
Huh?
What's your trick that...
Just kidding.
And the crew, too. There are too many people who you...
That'd be great. Please follow me, Honorable Oak.
This is the monument I mentioned earlier. The name's inscribed...
Rosalina, and...
When Penacony was known as a frontier prison, it was the Trailblazers who connected it with the stars. They were the heroes who saved Asdana, and their names deserve to be immortalized. Not just on the small stone tap. However, today, the planet of festivities is nothing but sweet dreams. That heavy piece...
If their names are inscribed here...
According to Micah, they died long ago.
Rosalina was killed during the War of Independence. She ventured alone into the heart of the star system. Tiernan was a skilled gunslinger, strong and reliable. He led the people through countless battles. In the decade following the war, Penacony faced challenges internal and external. To protect Asdana, Tiernan took up the way of the Trailblaze and led the Lampmoth family to explore beyond the system, only to be surrounded and wiped out by the...
Though I had expected as much, the tales of these heroes...
True to the title of Trailblazer, they spent their lives venturing into the unknown. But what about this tablet? There are no names carved on it.
When Dreamflux Reef was created, its owner was still alive. However, he insisted on erecting a monument for himself, saying that it will happen someday. Here we meet again. Everyone...
Robin.
Brother.
There's no need for words.
Brother.
There's no need for words.
I did my job. I gathered everyone here.
Huh. I brought Gallagher here.
I promised to give the siblings some privacy, so let's talk about our business first.
That sounds sensible enough. Since you went through the trouble of gathering the family heads, the crew, and the Stellaron hunters...
Oh? Is it that...
The look on your face is practically screaming, I'm the one behind all this.
You're right, Mr. Yang. It is indeed time to come clean. The siblings already know what they need to, and they've made their choice. But you, Nameless, arrived a bit late. Before we begin, let me reintroduce myself. I'm the founder as Gallagher, the history fictionologist. I humbly extend my greetings to you all.
History fictionologist? So what?
Well, don't worry. Almost everything I shared was true. Well, except for the part of...
I double-checked with Micah, and everything he said about the family, the Watchmaker, and Mikhail is true.
Thank you for your understanding. Now let's get down to business. I'm sure you're all wondering why I went through the trouble of setting up this battle for the legacy. Inviting well, it all boils down to something very familiar to all of you.
The Stellaron? But how is that possible? Penacony is a free-flowing interstellar hub. There are no signs of contamination whatsoever.
You're totally correct. So... I wish that were the truth. But if that were the case, I wouldn't have it. The sweet dream doesn't come out of thin air. If you think of the memory zone as the sea, creating the land of the dreams is like filling that wild ocean with earth to make an island. To achieve this feat, without the help of an emanator of remembrance or enigmata, the only way is to use a Stellaron. And that's not something you can achieve with a simple wish. It requires vast quantities of knowledge, time, and manpower. I'm sure you get what I'm hinting at. In Azdana, the planet of festivities itself is a Stellaron disaster.
The planet...
It all started a long time ago, back when the Watchmaker and his crew liberated the frontier prison. They faced countless challenges as they began building Penacony from the ground up. That's when the idea of using a Stellaron first entered the Azdana system during the war. The Nameless warned everyone against the folly of attempting to tamper. The turning point came after Tiernan's death. With two of the Nameless gone, the Watchmaker had to go to the front lines. It was at that moment, by the time a representative from the Montour System's family arrived at the Watchmaker's call, the Stellaron had already been activated and was seeping into the primordial...
And I suppose the family happened to possess the knowledge to seal...
Not just that. They knew far more about the Stellaron than the average person. They helped Mikhail swiftly quell... Those three eras were known as the Age of Dreaming. The Watchmaker, who had been left in the dark, sent out invitations.
Then... how...
Remember the island in the ocean metaphor? The truth is, the Stellaron was never truly sealed. It existed in a different form within the dreamscape. It's people's lives. The opulent dream is built upon the decay of spirits, with a toxic elixir called pleasure flowing through the dreamscape. Confusion, laziness, and cowardice. Weaknesses that plague humanity were magnified and nourished by the family. Sadly, we realized this far too late. By then, the family had a firm grip on Penacony. At my wit's end, I had to use the power of the Enigmata and sought refuge in this chaotic realm. Over the years, I created a meme within this dream for our use. Dormancy. That's its real name. We exploited a loophole. You see, regular people can't fall asleep.
So this is the true meaning of the impossible. You sent out invitations in the Watchmaker's name to
It's not just that. Above all, I wanted to see what happens when the major factions engage in a struggle for the legacy. Since this is the Watchmaker...
So, the legacy...
If you want to consider the Stellaron...
If that's the case...
That's a question for Mr. Wings. The Stellaron is still under the family's control, and as the head of the Oak family... Go ahead. I'm sure Mr.
As I suspected.
You all look quite serious.
Are you done talking? So...
As I suspected. It's the embodiment of the family.
As for the person who employed its power, it is in fact Mr. Gopherwood, the current Dream Master.
Well, that was easier than I thought. Did you conduct your own investigation?
Correct. When I was trying to...
Confronting...
I didn't have other options. The Dream Master has been elusive, and even moreover, Mr. Gopherwood has been kind to my...
What do you mean by that?
To be honest, my brother and I are also victims of the cancer of all worlds. We grew up as orphans, and were adopted by the family, but I can't just stand by and watch Mr. Gopherwood become an enemy of the Harmony. I won't use my voice. I won't step on that stage and sing, no matter who the traitor is, or what orders they give me. I won't let the Charmony Festival or the paradise in our dreams.
Indeed. For the paradise in our dreams. As the head of the Oak family, I'm responsible for ensuring Penacony's promising future. Rob, I'll fight alongside you. We'll put the Charmony Festival on.
The enemies you are about to face aren't like this old dog here, who can barely even bark. Since our interests are aligned, why don't we team up?
We have always been following in the footsteps of our nameless predecessors.
Yeah, we Nameless won't back down. Exactly! It's time for the...
Rest assured, sitting on the sidelines isn't in our nature. Mr. Sunday, Miss Robin, I'm willing to accompany...
Thank you, Miss...
Thank you all for...
The Charmony Festival is about to start.
Everyone, let's gather over here. We still need to make some preparations. I may have been quick to step up to the plate, but confronting the...
Huh? Even your...
He's the leader of the families of Penacony, and he has the entire power of the
Maybe you can...
No, that won't do. Even if we count Robin as an ally, something felt off about Mr. Sunday just now. You're still carrying the keepsake the IPC envoy gave you, right? Huh. As I suspected, this chip Aventurine gave to you, if I'm right, he intends to use it to track your location or contact you when needed. As it so happens, this may actually...
Aventurine? Is he still alive?
Remember what I said earlier? Working with the IPC is if negotiations go south and the family show their true colors by going after the Stellaron, I'll use this transmitter to send a message. The only question mark in all of this is Aventurine's current status. But the IPC is always listening, especially senior...
Good luck to you.
Well, you take care too. If anything goes wrong...
Spoken like a true hero. Even if the Dream Master is innocent, the family's corruption runs deep.
Don't you have something else to tell us?
Why would you say so?
Before we departed, the conductor asked us to inquire about the three Nameless in Penacony. We've already collected intel about Rosalie, if I'm not mistaken.
It's not enough to say meet. I've been watching over you ever since I received the reply from the Astral Express. And I've seen the great effort you all put into linking different realms together. Miss Himiko, were you the one who repaired the Express?
Yes.
And you two, young Nameless, you have...
What? Hey, you can't just make...
You're full of energy. Please send my regards to the conductor, Pom Pom. Please let them... As for the last Nameless, he embarked, disembarked, and embarked again. Traveling in a great circle, ending up on his deathbed, he told me to find the Astral Express and deliver an invitation to the future Nameless. He'll come with me. Now is the time to reveal it.
Back here again.
Sometimes I feel like you're still alive, old friend. Like you've still got so much to say and do. I've kept my promise. Brought the future trailblazers you've waited so long for. I don't know why you were so obsessed with that train. But... Don't let us down, old man.
What's happening?
Go ahead. His resting place lies in the garden up it. The first and last Nameless of Penacony. Mikhail Char Legward, the Watchman.
Sure enough, the Watchmaker is the third Nameless. Even I could guess that one.
The legacy he left behind was a dream bubble. I believe inside that bubble, after all, when I checked its contents, I found nothing inside. Maybe some...
Well, let's...
Wait, seriously? How could a dream...
That old man always had this strange belief in the Nameless and the Trailblaze. And I never understood where he got that. I could never figure out what was going on in that old man's head. But this empty dream... that mischievous old man.
Don't think that's the case, Gallagher. I'm sure Mikhail...
Don't start getting...
Just as Mikhail believes in the Nameless of the future, we unconditionally believe in the Nameless of the past. How could they leave with regrets? There must be something contained in this dream bubble. It's just we...
Well, I'm a follower of the Enigmata. My philosophy forbids me to have... That's why I understand what faith means in the path of trail.
Can I borrow your pet? I need to make a trip back to Golden Hour and check something at the Dreamscape sales store. It's for Mikhail, and for the future of...
Welcome to the Reverie Hotel.
Greetings. We're the Nameless.
The Astral Express?
Yes, my companion's already checked in.
I see, but your companion said...
No.
And you...
Me?
He's my fellow trailblazer. We responded to the family's invitation before...
Oh, I see. Another one of the Nameless had a similar situation. Since there's a precedent, it shouldn't be a problem. Just give me a second to contact your companion. I'm sorry, dear guests, but it seems I'm...
What do you mean?
My apologies. This is the first time I've encountered a situation...
How about this? Give me their room number.
I'm afraid that's not possible. I need to verify both of your identities.
How about you just wake up someone?
I'm sorry, but there are strict rules regarding forced awakening. It cannot be done without the proper clearance.
So nothing works, huh? What's your solution then? Are you...
Please be patient. We need to contact...
And now it seems you need to confirm our identities before you can contact...
Oh, fudge. Look, nothing personal, but if...
Please calm down, dear guests. I do recall that Mr. Sunday, the Oak family head, personally handled...
I don't think she's trying to give us a hard time.
I have a bad feeling about this. You tried to
Something doesn't seem right. I need to leave for a moment.
Sure thing. Don Hung seems pretty worried about his companions. I should give him some space. Stressing out about it won't help anything.
At night.
The Charmony Festival is about to start!
Hey!
Well, I didn't come all the way here specially for the festival.
Well, back in my homeworld, Anaria, we have festivals like that all the time. My dad threw me a birthday party one time that...
Oh, come on! The Charmony Festival is a once-in-an-Amber-era event! How can a
Well, you never know, right? Anyway, let's forget about that.
Unsettling things? What could possibly go wrong?
Relax. With a big event like this, there's bound to be lots of gossip and...
Oh, that's a real... Well, looks like I won't get any fudging clues out of these two. They're clueless.
Surely there'll be a lot of celebrities...
Don't enter the dream with such a
Greetings. I'm Cody of the Bloodhound family, head of security for the hotel. How may I assist you?
Hello. So, there's something I want. Do you think there's anything to be worried about? I've traveled all...
I'm not sure where you heard those rumors, but they're complete. At present, all of the families are focused on making sure the festival starts on time. Even the Dream Master himself has arrived. So don't worry, your trip won't be in vain.
She doesn't appear to be acting. So... back already?
Hasn't she returned?
Nope. I'm starting to want... Neither the staff nor the guests seem to know anything about what's happening in...
I agree. Another unusual thing is that the Oak family is supposed to be in charge of organizing the council and managing everything. I walked around the hotel, but didn't meet a single member.
Well, I'll be forked. If I remember correctly...
We shouldn't linger here too long.
Not so fast. Have you ever robbed the IPC, bro?
Are you suggesting we sit...
I wouldn't say do nothing. But let's stay put for now. Even if they don't want to attract unwanted attention from certain outsiders, so they won't do anything reckless.
If I were a family member, I'd find an official excuse and keep the surprise factors here.
Of course, we don't need to walk into their trap. I gave a backup plan to the memo keeper. If it turns out we won't be allowed to enter the dreamscape, she'll order a drink for me and
A secret signal.
That's right.
Oh, a concrete object can indeed help the memo keeper establish a connection with you.
I'm sorry, but it's one of my quirks. I have too many unreliable friends. And if I reveal that I have backup plans, things can...
How do we get into the VIP lounge?
This is where my street smarts come into play. You're the
Yes.
We're the Nameless from the Astral Express. We wanted to check in, but we've been waiting here forever, without any food.
Is this your...
It's cold.
I apologize for the inconvenience. Please wait while we try to contact Mr. Sunday. I'll arrange...
Just...
Wow, this bar's something else. Certainly worthy of the planet of festivities.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, I have an order for a bottle of Hasdana's White Oak.
Hasdana's White Oak?
Oh.
If someone had reserved such a beverage, I would definitely remember it. It sells for hundreds of thousands of credits per bottle, after all.
That's straight.
And what should we do now?
Oh, no need to rush. Let's grab some drinks first. Let's see what kind of juice malts you want.
Wow, that's the most What can I get for it?
Anything you recommend.
Then I would recommend today's special, Glass Village. It's classic Soul Glad mixed with Laboom juice. It's refreshing and suits...
Ah, this flavor. Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Ooh, really hits the spot.
Dynamite barbecue with rocket fuel. Is that really something that you...
As long as you're satisfied, dear guests.
Let's give the memo keeper another half system hour. If she doesn't show up, we'll need to come up with...
The situation is unclear. Something must have happened on the planet of festivities, but the public is unaware of it. Someone in a position unusual for the followers of the Harmony to invite other factions, let alone the IPC and the Masked Fools.
Actually, there's something else, as you know. The faction that follows the path of the hunt are some of the most dangerous folks in the cosmos to mess with. Isn't there a saying among the Xianzhou people that...
Talking. Do all the...
Well, you know what I mean. Even though the Galaxy Rangers have been out of sight for years, we've been keeping an eye on this region. Even the dumbest criminals know better than to mess with the Annihilation Gang. Much like that Acheron lady. She doesn't seem like a lunatic at all. On the contrary.
And do you believe that someone like her would...
I'm not entirely sure. But I do have my suspicions.
Anyway, what worries me more are the anomalies within the family. They've summoned followers from various paths for the festival. No matter unless the invitations weren't sent by them. If that's the case, it's even...
Maybe it's Shipei the Harmony pulling the strings. You find it beyond human under people do stupid things out of irrational impulses. They abandon their principles when self-interest is involved. They believe in things they know they shouldn't and fudge. But Eons don't. They stick to...
You think Shipei's will is behind all this?
It may not necessarily be Shipei. There's definitely some higher entity involved. It's much simpler when you boil it down to the eons and paths. Like how Lon always follows the path of the hunt, or how the Express stays true to the Trailblaze despite Akavili's
But in my opinion, Akavili's fall holds significance for the Nameless.
Oh. So you're saying the Nameless now have to take responsibility for the...
Exactly. I believe the purpose of the journey isn't just about following a path that's... It's more about doing your best to choose the right path for yourself among countless possibilities.
I don't know what you've been through, but I agree that people must take responsibility for their choice. That's why the Galaxy Rangers need to uncover the imposter. Just in case. I have a backup plan if the memo keeper doesn't...
You sure have a lot of cards.
Well, going back to my old career would make... By the way, when you were walking around the...
What's your plan?
It's simple. We just grab some hostages and use them as bargaining chips with the...
No need for that.
Wait. Are you getting scared? Draw your weapon.
Are you leaving, esteemed guests? Would you like...
Huh?
Ha ha. Looks like you are a bit in...
Looks like...
Oh, right. Sorry, my memory's not the best. You know, too many... I'll be waiting for...
No mistake. That's her message to you. She...
Well, looks like we took a detour, but now it's back.
You're back? 2 guests just boarded saying they were looking for Boot Hill, so I told them to wait in the parlor car.
Oh.
2 guests?
Yeah, or 2. Look, we welcome all passengers on the Astral Express, but sneaking in like that...
My apologies, conductor. It was an oversight on my part. I assumed you were already acquainted with the garden. Given the chaotic situation in Penacony, the Nameless are the...
You are the memo keeper.
Pleased to meet you, Dan Hung. I've seen you in others' memories. And as for Boot Hill, this is our first face-to-face meeting.
Finally, memo keeper. Well, let's cut to the
That's precisely what I intend to do. But before that, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Blax. I'm sure she knows it better than I do.
Greetings. I'm Acheron.
What? You Garden of Recollection shirtbag! You
I apologize, but she did that at my request. Due to certain reasons, I have been exiled by the family. Thankfully, this memo keeper came to my aid and helped me escape their surveillance.
To be honest, it was more like stalking than helping.
I asked her to guide me to a place beyond the family's reach and to contact a few trustworthy individuals. Namely...
Trustworthy? Son of a nice... How about this? I'll put a few bullet holes in your head and see what's...
It doesn't have to be like that. I'm willing to answer all your questions, but not right now. If my cover hadn't been blown, we might have had more time, but at the moment, we don't have any other options.
No other options?
This is the only way I can ensure everyone's... I kindly request an immediate warp jump out of the Astana star system.
This passenger...
As far as I can tell, she's not a threat, and...
I've briefly traveled with your companions and know their whereabouts, Dan Hung. Please rest assured, your nameless companions are safe, but they need our help. As for Boot Hill, you may have guessed, I've been waiting for you. Galaxy Rangers are known for their elusive nature and limited contact with each other, so this was the only way I could reach out to you. Only by doing this can I find a true Galaxy Ranger and fulfill a long-standing promise to return his relics to their rightful owner. Someone once told me that every raindrops are said to be the tears of the gods, shed in response to the sorrows of the world. So, how long has this rain been going on for?
I used to believe, just like you, that it would eventually looks like the god you mentioned. Well, mortals who walk the paths are like sailors on a vast ocean, leaving behind a trail, and for some, their presence leaves
like those shadows.
Sin-thirsters, the obsessions of the Pathstriders. They emerge from the depths of IX, seeing themselves as masters of their own destiny. They emerge from the nihility and head. They were once my dear companions.
Are you watching over them?
Watching over them? No. It was a brutal war. A crusade that shook the universe. The unwavering, Determination of the Hunt followers persists even in death. So someone must guide these lost. As for me, I've suffered.
But you know, these sin thirsters.
Does this? So some tasks have to be done, even if they aren't.
I can help you.
For what?
For the meaning of the next.
I see. Thank you, stranger. I wish that you...
Before we part ways, it is true that their actions and even their entire lives may seem pointless from our perspective. If this is what the departed ones expected.
A good question. And what I do know is that one day, someone will stand...
When I appeared as a child, my speech as I grew into adulthood.
I humbly request your blessings, esteemed advocate of Shipe.
Come to me, my kinship. I have sought their presence with us.
As you wish. I have faithfully served the Alfalfa family for nearly a decade, promoting the path of the harmony to the best of my ability. However, out of laziness, I lied and claimed that everything was ready. Although the head has dismissed me as punishment, it has been tough to...
Do you sincerely repent? Have you examined your soul and Are you willing to... Very well. Show your dedication and goodwill to the...
Praise Shipe.
Next.
I wholeheartedly...
Rest assured, I have implored their presence to be with us. As long as...
Oh, great. You know,
I see.
My children were starving, and I hoped they'd have a chance at survival if they became... But the Bloodhound family got wind of it. They're on my tail, hunting...
The family is ready to forgive all sinners. I'll...
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Next.
Hey! Long time no see, Mr. Sunday.
I have sought their presence.
Sure. Let's just get this over with. I have sinned. Please, that's it. Nothing more.
Do you seek to it?
My sins? Starting to sound like a saint, huh? Well, let me tell you, you think nobody knows what your precious family has done? About the watchmaker? Huh? Don't kid yourself, Feather. Before you start spouting off your holy verses, answer me this. Where does the power of the Oak family... Well, I've spent enough time in confession today to enter the Harmony's paradise, right?
Oh, revered triple who can judge the strong when their power hides? Who can vouch for the weak when they will pay? Who can comfort the purest souls if the strong defending the weak? Then who?
Brother? Brother...
I'm... fine. I've been working long hours.
You've been working non-stop on the Charmony Festival, Mr. Sunday, and no one could have predicted this incident. Even if the Stellaron does pose...
No need to worry about troubling anyone. The Charmony Festival...
It has always been our wish to make everyone happy, so... Well, even if the negotiation does not go smoothly, I'll refuse to go on stage. Without the Chordmaster, the Harmonious Choir would not arrive, and the Charmony Festival would be just a grand...
I'm relieved to see... You know, since arriving in Penacony, we haven't had any contact with this Dream Master himself.
The Dream Master rarely grants an audience, even for us. But, given the urgency of the situation...
Perhaps you'll be the first guest to meet the Dream Master.
Let's hope we can reach a consensus that's...
Indeed.
it's about time. We'll have to get ready for the meeting.
Don't worry. I'll be...
Oh, dear. It's Mr. Sunday! Hey, come over here!
Thank you for everything you've...
Oh, Mr. Sunday. Hey there! Okay, if I just reached out my hand...
The moon?
Yeah. Look at me. But it's no big deal. They told me not to sell
Selling everything you had?
Why? Can't you see? Life back home it's better to be here at Pinnacle. No pain, no worries about tomorrow, just sweet dreams.
Is this...
Huh?
Oh, it's nothing, sir. You see, the traffic on Glock's Avenue can be dangerous.
Oh, yeah. See you around, Mr. Sunday.
What's up, sister?
This is the land of the dreams. The man we ran in, even though sweet dreams are nice, they're just illusions. But for him, they're the only way to survive, even if it means giving up on reality. That's not...
I suppose you have a point. But...
Why do you say that?
You think that man is not actually living. But that's not quite accurate. Even without Penacony, people create their own illusion. People believe they have a predetermined value to fulfill. Gaining value means gaining power. However, value doesn't come out of thin air. And there's a limit to it.
Are you suggesting that...
Exactly. But, ironically, people don't think there's a survival of the fittest. That's where all the tragedies in the world come from. No tragedies exist here. Only happiness. Although in its nascent form. Isn't that the same paradise we yearn?
Perhaps that man is just an exception. Let's not jump to conclusions. We should experience the...
Yes. Seeing is believing. I'll accompany you.
Glad to meet you again, Robin. How are the preparations for the Charmony Festival coming along?
It's going smoothly. Thanks for making...
You're too kind, Robin. It's a pleasure to have guests from all... I can't stand being lonely or bored, so this jubilant dreamscape...
But if this went on forever...
Nah, not every day. You get to wear fancy clothes, explore all sorts of dream bubbles, indulge in delicious food without...
But you know that only a few things can be brought back.
That's exactly why I don't plan on bringing anything back. Just enjoying the dream itself is good enough for me. I mean, only in this sweet dream can I truly feel like I'm in control of my life and fate. And I wish you a fantastic performance, Robin! I'm off to...
Seems like that.
She had a valid point. I could sense her genuine happiness.
What you're trying to say is, she thinks she's in control of her life. But in reality...
Well, she did make mention...
However, the paradise...
No. In the paradise we yearn for... The scenery in this dreamscape is truly breathtaking, isn't it?
Oh, Robin. You're right. Even though time stands still in this dream...
A philosophical...
Oh, not at all, no. With little time left, I yearn for meaningful conversation.
It's my pleasure. No need to be formal. Just speak your mind.
Yeah. I was part of a war, and while escaping from the Sakota, then all my comrades died, and my hometown was wiped out by neutron bombardments. They couldn't bear to...
How...
They have, and I'm truly grateful for that. They provided me with a comfortable room. My physical body is now in the dream pool, sustained by life support. The me you see here is whole, rational, and my true appearance. Huh?
So...
Just being able to live at all is good enough. My world has been torn apart.
and my life could end any second. So,
That old man's story. It's so
That's precisely what...
However, even the sweet dream has its limitations.
There will be a way out.
Brother, what a
Show yourself.
I've heard that a skilled mass fool received an invitation too.
Barely. The people here are way too gullible. A little bait is all it takes for them to bite. And they run away at the slightest hint of danger.
Now that you've had your fill, it'd be wise to...
What? Now that you have the real Robin, I'm useless? Oh, how disheartening. You should be thanking me, because if it weren't for me...
That was a personal request from the head of the Iris family, and it...
The Charmony Festival? You think you can... I don't care what you're thinking, chicken wing boy. But I'm pretty sure lovely Robin won't be appearing on stage. Penacony, the land of the...
Stop it.
What's the rat?
Our paradise is none of your concern, masked fool. Leave now.
All right. I'll go. But do you really believe those living in dreams can escape pain? And... Well, I've done my part. And here, the last 2 gifts for both of you. And don't lose them, it'll be through.
I heard a raven cawing in the distance. It seems the Dream Master will arrive soon. Let's wait here for the...
Okay. By the way, brother, I heard you no longer have a suite. Seems like a lot has changed during my absence.
Well, someone has to stay away.
But that someone doesn't have to be you, or anyone in particular. The paradise in our dreams. Penacony is nothing more than a dream. It can't erase the worries and pain of reality, or bring true happiness.
Remember the old man we met earlier? Without this...
That might be true, but... even without Penacony, that path may have been more ordinary and challenging. But now, he is receiving... Is Penacony granting these people a future? Or is it...
Well, don't forget this. The future for humanity is like the sky for birds. People mistakenly believe that flight... Do you remember how we took in that little charm?
Yeah. We took care of it. Provided food and water, groomed its feathers.
Well, shortly after you left, it crashed.
I had surmised as much. I knew you wouldn't have avoided mentioning the bird for no reason. Despite that unfortunate outcome, I still believe it was the right decision. Birds aren't meant to spend their lives in cages.
But here's the thing. If there are birds in this world that can never fly, can we really assert that they belong in the sky?
Are you implying that the same goes for humans too?
Let's take the Astral Express as an example. The Nameless made tremendous efforts to bridge worlds, gaining fame across the universe. However, only if... That's because the pursuit of the Trailblaze exceeds the capabilities of ordinary humans. Otherwise, why would this path be filled with broken rails and abandoned express?
That's just... sophistry. If that were true...
Unfortunately, that's exactly what happens. Another name for the future is self-value. While this world has its fair share of heroes who inspire people and garner admiration for their heroic deeds, some are born weak and vulnerable. Some find themselves trapped in unfortunate circumstances. Some fall victim to malice and cowardice. When it comes to survival, everyone is equal.
That's why we should care for the weak and support them as if their suffering were our own.
While the Harmony holds noble aspirations, the strong will always be strong. and the weak will always be weak. Even in this carefree dream. In the end, if people can't even secure their own survival, they won't care about the illusory future of equality. As long as the law of survival of the fittest prevails.
But if people don't live for the future, do they merely exist for survival? If even you...
People often forget that when the first bird took flight, the entire... No more fledglings would ever crash to their death.
Are you reading, sister? What are you reading?
Mr. Gopherwood gave me a picture book. It's about the... If I could become a chord master, I'd like to summon... Dominicus, the harmonious choir. I want to sing with everyone.
I see.
Don't you...
Of course I do. It's just that... Then,
let's build a stage there, and invite everyone to our performance.
It's a deal.
Yeah, it's a deal.
Maybe. You'll have to...
You're back sooner than I thought. Any results?
Yes. And now, it's up to...
But pardon me if I sound curt. It's good to have determination. Why else would he have chosen to sleep in solitude? Staking everything. But you have the numbers. And in numbers comes strength.
Got any more encouraging words?
As I see it, relying on Welt's negotiations alone is far from enough. Regardless of whether the other party will be compliant, negotiating simply allows... Penacony is our rival's home turf, and we already have very few chips left to play with. We're more familiar with the Stellaron's properties than most, and since it's the key to stabilizing the Sweet Dream, it's vital to the family's interests. By attacking their core
That's right. As long as we pose a threat to the Stellaron, either with words or... But the problem is, on the eve of the Charmony Festival opening, how exactly are we going to get close to the theater?
So, no one's gonna say it? The express crew would have been disbanded. So, I heard that before the Charmony Festival begins, there'll be a pageant to kick off the festival. It's called the Soul Glad Tea. As long as we clinch the top spot, we'll be able to attain the title of Festive Superstar and be able to personally
So, how do we go about...
I've already procured special... to tell you the truth, I had been preparing to join the auditions all along, but...
So they're still running this thing, huh? It was originally just a...
We'll follow March's plan. Mr.
I'm afraid I won't have the time. As a virtual character, I've already completed my final mission.
Should we ever cross paths again?
All right.
And Miss Firefly, we thank you for all your support. We're faced with a formidable enemy.
We've already come this far together. I'd like to join you for the rest of your journey on Penacony.
This is also the spirit of the Trailblaze. Now, everyone.
If you have ambition, dreams, and the drive, dear friends, the next
Oh, wow! They've really outdone themselves!
Behold! Here come 4 friends with spirit high and full of... Yes, you! There's no...
Excuse me, you 4? What are you hoping to get?
As the last group of contestants, how confident are you?
Would you be open to a brief exclusive...
Your journey is long and...
The sword and rose! Protect the beauty! Magnificent...
A knight's head is hard as steel. Brother Lance's focus is stubborn as a heel. We don't all have to be winners, but if we don't have fun...
People are pouring in. Kinda feels like all sorts of baddies are showing up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. Coming towards us now is one of Penacony's top 10 wealthiest...
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the director of Soulglad's factory.
Hello, everybody.
Don't you guys?
Can't hide it anyways. Penacony is plastered with our posters. And because the hello, everyone! I'm Hello, everyone. I'm Firefly.
So it's a bunch of nameless guests. This final face-off is bound to be spectacular.
Grab a bottle. Grab a bottle of Soulglad.
Nameless, your arrival reminds me of the grand occasion when Penacony was first established. I was once, during a particularly grueling day, I passed out and was resuscitated by a drink from Mr. Sousa. The dream-chasing era was truly a wondrous time. Oh, I miss those days. I wholeheartedly hope you make it to the finish and emerge as the next superstars of Penacony. Haha! That's the trailblazing spirit.
Hello, everyone! Next up, get ready for the mega...
Trailblazing into the uncharted and challenging the limits. That's Mr.
I hope that by the...
A one...
Safety first.
Waiting for you are 3 stages, each connected to that era. The first 2 stages offer 2 distinct paths to... And in the last stage, you will face off against those are the rules. Simple. Everyone clear? Now,
Everyone, as the Charmony Festival is drawing closer, we must reach the end as quickly as possible. March and I haven't known Miss Firefly for too long and aren't overly familiar.
Fine by me.
All right. I don't have a...
We'll split into the assigned groups then.
Welcome to the first stage of Soulglad Enter. In the School of Acting Challenge, you have to complete 3 performances from 3 scripts and move. Now,
Dreams for those who dare to dream. Welcome to the School of Acting Stage.
competitors, allow me to introduce the rules of this challenge to you. There are 3 stages up ahead. On each, you will find an outline of a script. These 3 scripts were written by the... Your task is to bring those moments to life, find the right words, and act convincingly to make the... Also, a bit of trivia. The record score for this stage is held by a participant with...
Oh, just take a look at this pair! You two, are you... Envision that you both, driven by the spirit of exploration, are arriving at the land of dreams that is You're driving an old clunker through the wilderness of the dreamscape, braving the cold wind, choking on the dust, and suddenly, now, Miss Greyhair... Very good! Now, though you're disappointed, your screen partner is
This is...
Very good! Very intense! And then, we cut to the story's next scene. You find a job, suddenly, sweet rain falls from the... Now, Miss Grey... But at this moment, your partner yet gazes into the sky.
Perhaps...
Fantastic! Both of you have an incredibly solid foundation. Up next, you...
I hope these tests...
Here, you two are required to skillfully utilize body language, picking up from where we left off. a heavy downpour saves you both stranded in the desert. At this moment, right answer. Your companion sees you rolling about in the sand and thinks about the a tug at the heartstrings. The story continues to develop. The heavy rain leads you both to sense a business opportunity. So you start You have no choice. The goods you stockpiled at high prices have to be sold at a loss. This is a pretty self-destructive move. Fantastic! But it's a pity. Your friend... Of course! Absolutely! However, the true test is yet to come. You're about to encounter...
Welcome to the final stage. Actually, two companions arrive on Penacony with nothing but a dream. Their desire for achievement is met with continuous setbacks. Many years later, their paths cross once more. Against the backdrop of a revitalized Penacony, the joy of reunion mixes with the sorrow. Give it a shot. Try and convey this.
This is never going to...
Your performance is flawed. God, I never imagined that such a sad scene.
Huh? But we haven't even done...
Brilliant! Your portrayal...
We have passed the test. We ought to hurry up. Stellar...
Congrats to both of you for clearing the stage, but Mo, look at the time!
That red hair can...
You'll find out eventually, but only if you clear the next test first. Welcome, you have the option to... And now... Dear friends, welcome to the enchanting universe created by the Watchmaker. Oh wait, it is said that these cartoon characters were inspired by the Watchmaker's own experiences. According to research by Clocky scholars, the original Hanu of reality shared a deep enter into the world of Hanu via the TV.
If it's a gunfire trial, we should be able to settle this with a fight, right? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Are we both...
Very good! In this Hanu's Adventure episode, Boss Stone has gathered his battleships for an assault on Dreamville. Old Buzzfly, Cousin Wolf, and Bombhead are, alas, Hanu presently is ill-equipped to fend off the malevolent mischief maker.
Is that... Hanu? I know that this may sound like an exaggeration, but Penacony is actually in danger right now. We have to prevent it at all costs. Sooner rather than later. What exactly is he...
Tick-tock! It's time for me!
Clocky?
In Dreamville, Clocky is everywhere and can do anything! Hanu says... The enemy is at our doorstep, and we have... Touch that suspicious-looking TV right now!
So they just... Sheesh. Logic... Well, here we go again. Ready? I am gradually getting weak.
Oh? Did someone say high-level movies just now? Last we saw, Hanu was preparing for battle. But brave...
But...
Guess what?
What a... Well, that's that.
Congratulations! In the final stage, you will face the defending... Welcome to the 33rd Scorched Sand...
Are you... We don't have much time. In that case, let's make our way to the end. Penacony's really thronging with talent. I hope...
Congratulations to the Galactic Baseballer and Firefly on becoming this Scorched Sand Festival's champion! We look forward to their amazing entrance in the Charmony Festival!
Congratulations to the both of you on becoming the I. On behalf of the organizers, extend my sincere... As previously promised, my sister, Mr. Yang, and I have met with the Dream Master. Both I and the Oak family. We acknowledge the perspective of you, Nameless. Penacony does require change, but not as you propose. The planet of festivities can... Through your journey of overcoming obstacles, you must have glimpsed the essence of that era. The vulnerable ruthlessly eliminated, equality non-existent. Ultimately, only heroes like your... But I would dare ask, if you did not possess the special status of having a Stellaron, and you were but a dystopia for the survival of the fittest, or a sweet dream paradise for...
That's not the point!
Mr. Sunday, even if the members of the Oak family can't fully agree on what to do about the Stellaron issue concerns the life and death of everyone on Penacony. If anyone has a better suggestion, the crew is more than willing to listen. This way, we'll at least know what Welt and Miss Robin are dealing with, and the...
Ah, Navigator. That is let's talk about our tribulation and our final course of action.
You mean to say that for the longest time, there have been scoundrels who would use...
Indeed, Dream Master. Once the Charmony Festival begins, the Stellaron's powers...
This is indeed surprising to me. Do you have...
I'd like to ask.
I would have never thought that...
If I have offended, the Astral Express extends its sincere apologies. But the current circumstances are...
Dream Master, it's just to prove that the Charmony Festival has nothing to do with the Stellaron.
Sunday, Robin, I've watched you two grow up, and the magnitude of this matter is enormous, and cannot be taken lightly. Since Mr. Yang has asked Sunday, might I ask you to beseech them to cast their light unto me?
I will do as you command.
Robin, could I entrust you to be present as a witness, to document the truth, and to proclaim...
I will do as you command.
May thy will be carried out.
Oh, triple-faced soul. Please sear his tongue.
Let us begin.
Understood. Question. Have you devoted your life to...
Naturally.
Do you love your god as you do yourself?
Naturally.
Have you strayed from the path?
Never.
Have you ever been inordinate with your asks?
Never.
Then, do you swear to fulfill all vows, past?
With the Eon as my witness, if I do not deliver...
They have seen your fate.
Just a moment.
What?
I have another question. To my understanding, the family's harmony and prosperity have never... The god you both mentioned, are they?
Mr. Yang should know that those belonging to the family toil together as if they were kin, embrace such a delicate and complex symphony, which
perfectly harmonize. Therein lies the problem. It isn't an outsider lurking in the shadows who changed the harmony, but a dissonance. In the distant past, there existed an Eon. With one flick of the wrist, they crafted the laws of the cosmos. Their followers formed the Beyond the Sky Choir. Later, they fell. The route traversed by this Eon clashed with the harmony, ultimately being absorbed and fused into it. The chorus that though an Eon may perish, paths with no masters still linger. In the all-forgiving harmony...
Mr. Yang, being overly astute can be a detriment. For the sake of our grand cause, Sunday, please afford...
What?
Sorry, Robin. It's just you.
So, this is the true reason I can't...
We were never children of the harmony. Our ideal paradise could not have been crafted within the foundation of law and through harmony.
Unbelievable. To think that there would...
What have you done with Mr. Yang?
Don't worry.
You should know that these actions make you...
Should we need to stand against the Nameless, it would only be myself, and your efforts for the justice of Penacony are evident to everyone. Patience is a virtue.
If it is the order that drove you to imprison Welt and Robin, and you're using them to coerce our compliance...
You're mistaken, Miss Himiko. They are in very safe hands. And just as the family has... Penacony and the entire universe have witnessed far too much innocent bloodshed. Natural selection. The world abides by this principle, establishing the well-being of humanity atop the corpses of the downtrodden.
So you've decided to resurrect a dead Eon?
If Miss Himiko is interested, let's draw back the veil and speak candidly. I'm willing to divulge the unembellished truth as to the intentions of the Order's Pathstriders, so that you will make better judgment for the Astral Express. So, come with me, everyone.
Huh?
Welcome. This isn't any location in Penacony's dreamscape. It's my inner world.
Did you do the same to Welt?
It's a tuning process. Stronger in effect and more draining on the mind. The great tuning allows you to intuitively grasp my feelings, which also means... Now, everyone, please look at the... From this point on, you will witness the numerous decisions I've faced. I've selected a port, I believe, after going through similar predicaments. You'll be able to better understand. Let's begin. This story happened when Robin and I were very young. We were victims of the Stellaron disaster, and the family's Mr. Gopher Wood, who would later become later on. Robin and I lived a time with nary a care in the world. That baby bird was tiny. It didn't even have all of its feathers, and it couldn't. We decided to build a nest for it right there and then. However, thinking back, it was clear that if we left the fledgling in the yard, it stood no chance of surviving until spring. So, we decided that when it regained its strength enough to spread its wings, we would release it back into the wild. Its destiny was to... Now, I passed the power of choice. Stick to the original plan, and build a nest with soft or build a cage for it, and I eagerly await.
It looks like he really has no intention of... Back to the question. I would personally... No special reason. I do think that a fledgling should have the right to fly into the sky.
I can't decipher his intentions right now. Even if I was gonna release it back into the sky, it'd have to be strong enough to fly first.
That guy just casually throws this. If it were me. After all, leaving it there.
I'm happy to see that you made a choice similar to ours. We passionately nursed it back to health. I watched it for a long while by the window. Probably about 3 or so days. Finally, on the 137th attempt, it succeeded. The fall shattered its wings. It writhed helplessly in my embrace. I deeply regret the choices we made. Next, let us... This story happened when I was appointed as Bronze Melodia, a position exclusive to the Oak family, charged with listening to the problems, and it was during that period that I had the opportunity to hear voices from... He was a dream chaser, and an illegal stowaway. Just like the rest of them, he told me, I sold everything I could at home. The house, the land. He had a plan in place. He would buy back his children once he had made his fortune. And after hearing the Dream Chaser's story, I immediately appealed to the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit. I'll tell you the outcome soon. Will you do as I did, and try to convince the Bloodhound family to stop their pursuit? Or will you remain silent, leaving him to languish while the hounds are hot on his heels? Until I look forward to everyone's decisions.
A dream chaser story. If I acted out of kindness, but What?
This question, I'd probably choose to ask the blood.
It seems illegal. He sold his kids to chase. With that thought, there's only one choice. Let the Bloodhound send him back.
I'm honored to witness you arriving at the same decision. Out of first, the outcome. He attained major success. After avoiding capture, he ran a bit. Now then, did he realize the wish he set out to achieve? No. He told me the reason he was in this predicament was because he conspired to usurp the head of the Alfalfa family. In the end, my heart aligned with the harmony, and the good deed I dared to undertake held no value. As to your choice, I once again offer my heartfelt apologies. And the story this time. This story happened the day I was appointed the Oak family head. What surprised me was that the Dream Master had only come to deliver a letter to me. The letter contained the usual pleasantries, anecdotes from her travels. Nothing out of the...
Do you know who?
My sister, of course.
But to help you grasp the full scope.
From what the letter indicates, she must be in...
Correct. Has she mentioned anything?
A stray book.
A war has broken out on that planet. It is because of this very reason that Robin chose this destiny. She hoped to ease the people's suffering with song, and was willing to break...
Is she alright?
If the operation was successful, by the eon above, the bullet struck her neck directly, yet possibly as a reward for her consistency.
Those damned savages! Now you understand why she always wears such elaborate...
How could this happen?
It's all in the past, so please don't worry. I share this in the meager hope that you will understand the harmony's limit. Likewise, I've prepared one last question. One last choice. Because this is merely a figment of imagination. A nightmare that has haunted me through countless nights. Would you still support Robin's journey?
I often feel like I've dreamt of similar scenes on certain nights. Their confusion and fear are lucid. If Mr. Sunday with each trailblaze, dangers and tribulations will surely follow. But would you ever back away? Would you?
Miss Robin's courage is admirable, but the fact that she's also Mr. Sunday's younger sister? No.
I can't believe that happened to Miss Robin.
I am now aware of everyone's stances. Raising these questions merely serves to illustrate one point. The plight of Penacony cannot be salvaged by the harmony. The true foundation for a sweet dream. I know the suffering of being tormented. The turmoil of losing your way. How sorrow, and even despair, set in when matters don't work out. All of this causes me unending pain. We must teach the weak how to live a happy life. And this life isn't some
So what is your definition?
Good question. Human consciousness is fundamental. When one mistake after the next permeates the masses, they become impossible to trace. Thus, the amassing of these individual cage nature is always accompanied by predation and sacrifice. Its antithesis, that is what I want to do. unite people's happiness under the banner of order. They won't need to make bitter choices any longer. Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract. So allow me to provide us. During these hard-earned rest days, people are given the chance to, and it is only on these days, that people do not have to adhere to the law where the strong prey. From where I stand, society's ideal system should be 7 rest days. Following Sunday, there should ensue a second, a third, and indeed an infinite procession. And thus, every person can return to their base selves in this utopia. Some gaze in reverence at the stars, pouring their whole beings into calculating the distance between us and the ice. There would be no need to bear the hardships of reality. Only in this way can humanity face Miss Firefly. You who are stricken with entropy loss syndrome.
It sounds... But...
The cost is minute, merely a personal and eternal sacrifice. If this paradise is to be maintained.
Awakening. Which means that this so-called paradise is still a dream. Stepping into this paradise means forsaking reality.
It is not forsaking, but transcending. Flesh, blood, sorrow, weakness. If the physical is the root of spiritual suffering.
But in this supposed bliss, people won't have defeated their demons. The chance to overcome their tribulations would be forever lost to them.
That's another way of understanding it. But there is no shame in escape. On the contrary, don't you agree, Miss Firefly? And as to why we but this is not in conflict with the grand plan. Only in acknowledging this, can we truly...
I admit that you are a born leader. Your perspective on humanity brims with pessimism. Yet, but unlike you, I live for the self. From my perspective, individuals the want to escape may be innate in the weak. But whether they are weak, perhaps in your mind, you also view me because I don't think...
Since Miss Firefly has said her piece, the Astral Express will also... We'll leave it to you. Just as Mr. McHale instructed. Does this place ring any bells, Misha?
I don't know.
It's the realm within a dream bubble. This was left to the Astral Express by a nameless. But weirdly, Dr. Edward from the Dreamscape sales store told me that dreams are formed from memory. So I thought you might be able to help us in unraveling this mystery, Misha. As a hotel doorman.
I don't know much about dream bubbles, but if you want to...
I'm counting on you then.
Himeko, I still don't get it. Why...
I wasn't sure. It was just a hunch. But since Misha feels familiar with this place... Exactly. This is where you and Firefly encountered death, which we now know as dormancy. Considering its connection to Dreamflux Reef, the question now is, who brought you here? Based on the clues we have so far, we're drawing closer to the truth once more. Let's give Misha...
All right, but there are doors all...
I guess... I'm not entirely sure, but...
Let's give it a try.
Wait, you managed to choose the right door on your
Weird. This place is quite different. If I remember correctly, there should be a fireplace down that hallway. And the room on the other side was the toy room. Hold on.
This could be a case of amnesia. Don't worry, Misha. It's common for everyone to forget certain aspects of the past. Since this place seems familiar to you, why...
Yeah, then let's check out... Tick-tock. Tick-tock. I heard some noises from the...
You and...
Yeah. It's a member of the Compass crew. Just like Clocky and Miss Mirror. And there's more than just one origami bird. They follow Miss Mirror's orders and handle all sorts of jobs on the ship.
Sailors?
Could you tell us more about the Compass?
The Compass is a ship bound for the New World. Clocky and his partners travel through layers of fog to the depths of the sea. Whenever there is danger, Clocky will use a compass and...
That's a great story. But in the Penacony cartoon...
Huh? Weird.
Perhaps Clocky has a...
So, where has Clocky gone? Did he leave to protect Dreamville?
Tick-tock. Mikhail, that's the name. So, who is he talking to? Do you know anything about it, Mish?
I'm sorry. I don't know much about
anything special.
Mikhail?
Grandpa?
But we haven't heard anything about the watchmaker having descendants. And then could you tell us more about your grandpa, Mikhail?
Yeah, sure. He was a seafarer who fearlessly ventured into mysterious seas and storms. He was always on the sea. He didn't want me to call him Grandpa because that would make him sound old. He believed he was still young. The name Mikhail, every time he came back, he'd share his logbook with me and tell me about his adventures at sea.
It appears that the seafarer has nothing to... So, where is your grandpa now?
He went off on a new journey. I think I hear the sound of water.
You once mentioned there's a magnificent fountain up ahead. Look, there it is!
The water resembles a precious jewel. Every time I gaze at the shimmering lights beneath the waves, it feels as though...
Have you recalled anything?
Yeah. I saw these sentences in Grandpa's logbook. He used to say that despite the... He often said that those moments felt like returning to his family's side.
Hey, don't tease!
Perhaps every adventurer far from home carries a fountain within their soul. Even though the other side of the sea remains shrouded in the unknown, the fountain in front of his house serves as a compass.
Yeah. While Grandpa was at home, we would stand by back then. I would ask him when I could go on adventures like him. And he would always...
It seems this Mikhail is truly a seafarer and has nothing to do with the...
Yeah. Based on Misha's recollection...
But this raises more questions. According to Misha, he was clearly born on an oceanic planet and led an ordinary... Could this be... some sort of...
I'm sorry. I don't know. Perhaps I'll remember...
We're going to the opposite side, right?
No. We should turn left here.
Huh? Something feels different about this place.
Up ahead is... Grandpa's study. It was in that room. I saw him the last time.
The atmosphere in this...
Misha! You finally come!
Clocky! You're here!
Are those books on the bookshelf logbooks left behind by that?
Yeah. Whenever he came back, he placed a logbook on. He described our world as a fountain. At some point, the seas to ensure that everyone had land to settle on. He had to continue it. On that day, he called me to his study. I asked him if I could go with him, but he said that my adventure...
What sound?
He told me about a vast ocean in the sky. An ocean of stars. He said that he knew the crew on the train.
A train?
It's the Astral Express. I remember now. Grandpa's then. He gave his pocket watch to me. It was his cherished treasure, appearing in every one of his adventures. He said, as long as I kept moving forward, I'd eventually hear the distant sound of a train whistle.
Exactly, Misha! And then...
Yeah.
This is the dream jigsaw, right? So
Do you remember? You said you obtained a mysterious...
Hey, the shape seems...
Looks like we're just one step from revealing the truth.
This is it. This is my room of clocks, while I spent my time waiting for Grandpa to return from his voyage. Here, I learned how to repair clockworking gears, out of my fondness of precision mechanics.
So, this building...
Yes, but this dream bubble...
Wait! Why does it feel like everyone...
March, do you remember when she mentioned a clocky that only she could see?
Yeah, the little guy here, right? But we all saw him...
Looks like everyone on the Astral Express...
The answer lies in the Astral Express. Her experience shows that neither Firefly and when we were in Dreamflux Reef, you may have noticed that for some reason, nobody... A mimetic life that can only be seen by a select few. It's just like...
But Misha can see Clocky too, right? They even grew up together.
That's the key to the mystery, March. Have you ever seen anyone outside of the crew?
Wait.
That's the answer, March 7th. This dream bubble is the place where I was born. I should have stayed here and waited for you. But when reality and memories merged, I unconsciously pushed open that...
So it's not that the watchmaker's dream bubble is empty, and the whistle you heard was the sound of the express arriving at...
That's one way to see it, but I believe there's a longer story. How about we start with your name?
Thank you all for helping me rediscover my true self. I was born on Lushaka, in the Presmere system, adopted by seafarers Mikhail and Char. They gave me a treasure. Mikhail Char Legwork. Or simply, Misha. If you prefer, you can call me by a more familiar name.
So, you're...
Unfortunately, that legendary figure... As for the child who has been with you, he's the innocent protagonist of Misha's child. And this also marks the beginning of his journey.
At the end of the journey, I left this little flame, which I so cherished. However, he somehow left the dream bubble and forgot all about his task. I apologize.
Because he was born with... I don't think Misha has forgotten his role as a guide. He remembered it, and that's why he mistakenly appeared as a hotel. The one who brought our unconscious friend here must have been Misha. If that's the case,
Well, I have a sarcastic friend who says I always take big detours and end up back where I started. Perhaps that's what every nameless, but in the end, you found me. I'm sure you're all wondering what my legacy is. If I may apologize, the Stellaron part is real. I left my homeland as a child and embarked on the journey of Trailblaze. I traveled to various planets until finally reaching Asdana. I've been moving forward all my life, doing what I could to So, if you ask what's left within this worn-out train engine that can be called a legacy, now that you're well aware of the current situation of Penacony, I certainly hope that you'll help me get this world back on track. But I'll leave that decision to you. For the past, all I have for you is a story and 2 gifts. I want to give you my pocket watch. It has accompanied me throughout my long journey, guiding that naive, and my hat too. The one who navigated for me placed it on my head. And now, it's time for you to make your choice. Once you've made up your mind, open that door. I'll be waiting for you at the end of this corridor of time.
All right, everyone. Although I don't think anyone will have any objection.
Of course. We've come this far. Surely.
In that case, it's you. Then let's proceed together to the end of this dream.
Mikhail, where are you going?
Someone has to step up and save Lushaka. So why can't it be me, Misha?
Please don't go. And if you must, please take me with you. Don't leave me alone.
Even without me, you know how to proceed forward, brave Captain Misha. The compass is waiting for you. Now go, board that train and start your...
Where are you going, Mikhail?
I'm going to clean the floor in the parlor car. I've promised.
Wait, first tell me, did you fix this?
Yeah?
I know what it looked like before. Its chain was broken, the back case...
Well, it's hard. It's the hands, Mr. Amundsen. Its hands were intact and pointing in the right direction, so I knew there would be a way.
I see. You'll work with me from now on. Haven't you always wanted to tinker with this train?
But I only know...
Don't worry. You've got what it takes.
Where are you going, legwork? It's time to head to our next stop. I'm staying at... I see. This place... The people of Asdana have only achieved a tiny victory, and still have a long way to go. Don't worry. Not all journeys lead to the stars. Even if I leave the Express, our path... Yeah. I knew you wouldn't stay on the Express forever. This is... Mr. M? When he departed, he said he would leave it to his bed. Farewell, legwork. Take care of Tiernan and Rosaline.
Where are you going, Watchmaker?
Don't worry, Micah. Just going on a little trip. Someone has to be at the forefront of the interstellar frontier, and I'm the only former Nameless in Penacony.
Because you're all we have! Have you forgotten about Tiernan?
But what will happen to Penacony if we... Tiernan. How could I ever forget him? We Nameless won't stop. Don't worry, Micah. It's just a matter of getting back to my old profession. Just wait for me if I don't come back in one piece.
Where are you going, old man?
Oh.
Answer my question.
Relax, Gallagher. I just came...
Oh, come on! Aren't all your ideas just ways to get yourself killed? If you die too, the secret of this...
Yes. I'm afraid there's no way out in Penacony. So I'll have to consider... We'll organize a festival using the Watchmaker's legacy as a facade. And send...
So...
Desperate. don't we have you here, my friend? This task is challenging, but what hasn't, make sure to send an invitation.
Misha!
Oh, it's you, Clocky. Take me to dream. Last night, I had a long dream.
Write it down?
Oh, so I won't forget.
Of course! You told me that when you were a kid, you lived in a room full of clocks.
Yes, but when I was a kid, and there was always a special pocket watch in my memories. I wanted to have a pocket watch like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? It wasn't until it was. So, your name should have been Compassy, and the watchmaker is...
We've arrived at Dreamflux Reef. So, where to next?
You know, Clocky, I don't think I'll be going anywhere else. I've traveled far enough.
Oh. So...
No, I'll stay here. And then...
This is... where it ends? You told me that the trailblazing
Yeah, that's what I said. So now, it's up to you to decide your...
My next destination? Misha? You're acting weird today.
No, I'm not feeling down. As for clockwork, yeah, it resolves all problems in this dream. So, do you know what clockwork actually... Well, everyone gets lost at times. They may hesitate and doubt which way to go, but don't worry. Everyone goes through moments of uncertainty and has, whether it's calming, joyful, angry, or sad. All they need is a little nudge to take that. I'm leaving that little nudge with you, and I hope you'll share it with others. Such is the essence of clockwork, the will of the Trailblaze. Clocky's hands spin around non-stop, indicating confusion, frustration, and weakness. But ultimately, people still need to move forward.
Just like your hands, always pointing ahead. This is where my journey ends. From now on, it is your path to walk.
Trailblazing means taking paths your predecessors forswore and venturing even further. The Penacony in Mikhail's dreams does not belong to Order.
I can't believe that Eon would cast a glance at Penacony at a time like this. Is it because of the resonance from the legacy of the Trailblaze? Or perhaps the
Well, there might be another possibility. Perhaps they want to witness, on behalf of the fallen Eons, who will hold the future of Penacony.
If that's the case, on behalf of the Dream Master of Penacony and the 107,336 members of... I'm cordially inviting you all to the Penacony Grand Theater to participate in the upcoming Charmony Festival. And, of course, since the future of the Stellaron, Penacony, and even the entire cosmos is at stake, Let's draw a conclusion. If you truly believe in Akavili's path, then show me their courage and determination.
Does that mean he wants to fight us during the Charmony Festival?
I'm afraid so.
This is weird. Aren't Arc villains usually plotting some dirty
Well, in my opinion, Sunday is deeply committed to his own. I sensed a strong conviction and a desire for dominance in him. Maybe he won't accept the outcome unless he wins fair and square. That's why he'll give it his all.
Yeah, you're right. We've even dealt with a Lord
Anyway, we can't leave the Stellaron unchecked. This is about trailblazing a bright future for Penacony, and now that we've taken up the mantle, we can't—
However, the same applies to the Order. Their plan didn't materialize the desire to dream, to slumber and escape reality. All those hidden in they've harnessed the will of an entire planet to create an eon. This confrontation is—
What do you mean?
I believe Firefly is
Before I left, the Destiny Slave told me that this journey would bring unforgettable because one of the lines said,
3 times?
The first time was a painful death when I was stabbed by the Blade of Dormancy, which led to all subsequent. So now I've understood the meaning of my second death. And I am prepared to face it. Only by achieving victory in this battle can we secure a future for Penacony.
The most terrible—
the true death, where everyone in
We must do everything we can.
Have you made—
Yes.
Thank you again for your assistance for the Astral Express.
Yeah. Farewell, everyone. I dreamed of a scorched earth.
Everyone, are you ready?
A new shoot sprouted from the earth. It bloomed in the morning sun and whispered to me. Like fireflies to a flame, life begets death. May we meet again in reality.
After today, Japella's name will disappear. That's your next stop.
Land of the dreams. You mean?
Silverwolf told me about it. It's such a shame.
Well, I want to live. I'm never afraid people die. And I am no exception. We have to choose.
Do you exist?
Are you not the same, Blade? If I were to die now, I would only— though its definition escapes me, isn't this the answer that ordinary people look for their whole lives? And the tombstone that belongs to me once bore the inscription, Glamoth's Iron. It will bear the name.
That's quite unexpected, old man. I can sense that this false, sweet dream is coming to an end. The name— it's a shame you won't be able to see it firsthand. Maybe I won't either. Yeah, not just those nameless. Even Mr. Wings is just like you. Stubborn, won't listen or give up, no matter what. But in the end, we managed to do it. Now we can find solace. Well, I don't know if they— then I'll be joining you soon. Let's get together and have supper again. Oh, here's to you. To the imperfect.
It's warm here, isn't it?
I was just... It's a shame these berries don't have...
Seriously? In case you didn't know, it becomes... Have you?
Before coming here, I stopped by a place called Orkron. It had barren cliffs and nights lit by bonfires. Burgundy smell. The flavor wasn't exactly sweet, but it left a lasting impression. When I think back on my past, I realize that what's tying everything together isn't the big events. Don't worry about it. Losing oneself is a reality that every self-annihilator must face.
Well, congratulations. By the way.
No, I had a companion in Orkron. She's a short, nameless girl who aspired to explore IX. She...
Well...
Condolences. I don't need them. The girl left with a smile.
That's proof that you're...
Or...
afraid.
I'm afraid I'll forget the 30 days I spent with her. Just like all the other days in my life. Most of them have already washed. I fear that those vivid red memories will fade away too. There isn't much color left. And besides this faint, warm red, there's almost...
Hard to imagine. A ranger accustomed to...
Because I have experienced this warmth many times. Long ago, I promised someone that I'd bring it. As long as this red color still lingers, I have a chance to fulfill that promise. It represents a burning fire. In the end, it will lead me beyond the horizon of existence.
The one blessed by this. But you're right about one thing. After spending so...
When will this rain?
Perhaps...
Have you heard of a planet named Biari Scamandros, Don Hung? It's one of the Paradise Kingdoms under the influence of the Harmony. Half an Amber Era ago, the family held an unprecedented festival there.
Do you think the same thing will happen?
Yes. Or how else can we explain it? The family
Because of the nihility, I'm rarely affected by the power of other paths. But somehow I can unconsciously infiltrate them. Maybe that's the risk.
I would disagree. Biari Scamandros is not part of the credit system or connected to the Silver Rail. It's nothing more than a remote civilization sheltered by the Harmony. If the family messes with Penacony, that would be like declaring war on almost...
No, they don't.
What do you mean?
The path in Penacony is impure. The Harmony here has...
Do you remember the Ancient Swarm disaster? Tazeront, the Propagate. 2 paths lost their eons in that war. The Propagation and the Order.
Shipe, the Harmony. Legend has it that they participated in the crusade against the Imperator Insector.
Holy Forgaroni! So you're saying that the 2 leaderless... But I don't see any descendants of the Propagation in Penacony. Could it be that the remnants of
I can't say for sure, but they're definitely planning something for the Charmony Festival.
Dude, this is getting way too complicated. Is this why you want us to leave Astana right away?
The Charmony Festival will start soon. There's one thing that I need to confirm
Time is running out. I have another plan.
Hold on. Are you thinking of...
Exactly. The assistance from the Lawfu Cloud Knights would be...
Think it over carefully.
I have considered it thoroughly. My companions are...
Are you the only one here, my child? The Nameless is quite the diplomat. Our secrets have spread like wildfire within the family. And this is a crucial moment for us. So, where is the Chosen?
What do you mean, Master? I'm right here in front of you.
You know, she was supposed to be the star of the Charmony Festival.
But the plan has changed. As her brother, I know she doesn't want to sing for the Order. So I'll take her place.
You've always been wise beyond your years. I'm sure you understand the consequences of your choice.
If you consider this a betrayal, well, there can't be two suns in the sky. I'll step up and take down.
Do you believe?
If karma exists, then everyone has their own karma. You have yours. And my karma has nothing to do with you, Mr. Gopherwood.
All right. Since you're willing to sacrifice yourself for her, I'll grant your wish.
Well, the compromise came sooner.
You and your sister were born as twins of the Order. And one of you is... Of course. The opening is near. Go, my child. Seize the power of the Harmony.
I have one final question. Why did you choose to bring the Order to Penacony? Wouldn't it have been better to choose a desperate world instead of a city filled with hope and dreams? Why?
It's for justice. If we lose justice in our hearts, we'll make...
So, it's not you who manipulates the dreamscape with the Stellaron, but...
Well, that's where our conversation ends. Go ahead. The 107,003...
I shall ascend to the heavens. Be bathed in my light. My people shall flourish, while all evil shall be eradicated.
This is the interior of the Penacony.
It's quite exhilarating to be flushed into the air by Soulglad.
And not only that, the entire theater is...
Yeah. I wonder how many tickets...
Let's explore...
Gosh, the atmosphere here is so creepy and unsettling. Even if there's no audience yet, there should be some staff around. Why is it so silent? Yikes, they scared... I can't believe...
Are these puppets part of the stage set?
Something feels off.
There's no other grand...
So Sunday's messing with us?
My apologies for the... I'm waiting for you behind the curtain. Following the Asdana tradition, history is a mirror reflecting the universe's true essence. Let's use this up within it. Naturally. Let us commence with the dawning of the world. After the Dusk Wars, darkness veiled the sky, and chaos consumed the earth. Enna the Order emerged, destined to restore all existence. That marked the first day. They gathered nebulae and forged them into picks, thus creating a grand lyre with black and white keys. Strike the white keys, and the sun rose. Strike the black keys, and the moon rose. And so, the cycle of day and night arose. That marked the second day.
The puppets are gathering around the frame. Are they expecting us to enter it? Where are we now?
The atmosphere here looks similar to this act is named Ode to Prisoner.
I thought things were finally looking up as I managed to dodge prison during my recent trailblazing expeditions.
I genuinely wish to avoid a violent clash with my esteemed guests from afar. Therefore, I've arranged 3 acts before the situation becomes irreparable. Where shall we start our narrative? Well, let's start with the time when Penacony was still a frontier prison. In 2147 AE, a prisoner named Hanunu ignited a struggle for liberty and emerged triumphant. IPC referred to it as the War of the Frontier, while the Asdanians dubbed it the War of Independence. It's true that Hanunu was a legendary hero, but it must be acknowledged that while he bestowed freedom upon the prisoners, he didn't grant them true liberation.
Thank you for staying here, honorable travelers. However,
The 3 nameless stayed on the planet, endeavoring to spread the tenets of Trailblaze throughout the frontier prison. Alas, their efforts proved futile.
another prison, not within the
Once again, Asdana was engulfed in war, this time the enemies originating from within. The prisoners remained prisoners for the rest of their lives, fighting for freedom rather than living for it.
I hope you like this land of freedom on a scorched earth.
As you can see, their sentences have long ended, and the IPC guards have long... Freedom permeates every corner, except fragile.
Prisoners, this is my order. Learn the essence of freedom. No one can restrain you anymore.
Thus concludes the first act. Amidst a raging war,
This must be how Penacony was constructed. With the aid of outsiders, the prisoners were finally liberated. However, it appears that Sunday aims to convey the spiritual plight of the prisoners.
This show is a bit too literary for my taste.
Names of stars into inked nibs, creating symbols to be pronounced and counted. They molded stardust into flowing rivers, assigning the righteous upstream and the unjust downstream. Thus, all things were marked, and the world learned to discern between good and evil. That marked the 3rd and 4th days.
Ode to Fool. This must be the second act.
The surroundings are different from before. The stage decorations look a bit...
Behold the ensuing tale, a struggle for power. Penacony witnessed the ascent of the 7 major lineages: tree, grass, flower, bird, beast, fruit, and insect. Peace never truly graced Land of the Exiles. The history in this era is rich and intricate, so please allow me to present it in allegorical form. Granted, on the surface, each harbored their own ambitions, leading to ceaseless conflict.
Accountant! We are the pillars of
The Black Plum family was the first to fall. They withered away in the White Desert event, orchestrated by the Alfalfa family.
Because Master shaped you from clay, but forged me from fire. My child, you did not serve the old master.
The leader of the Alfalfa family sought to defect to the IPC, trading freedom for survival. However, his only when Gopher Wood led the family to Land of the Exiles and earned recognition from all 5 major lineages, did Penacony earn its new name, the Land of the Dream.
Dear outsider, I beseech your aid in I wish they could
This is the second act. Looks like it's about Penacony's journey to become...
But this new master seems...
Perhaps this is the truth Sunday is trying to express, if you read between the lines.
Looks like we've gotta help the...
Thank you, dear outsider. Heed me, one and all. Your forecast aside, the veil.
Get ready. Looks like another...
Good times. Never time to say bye. Boom.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Stand still.
On the still waters of oblivion.
Again. Say bye,
Eternals,
Brayden.
the dead return!
Destiny is... Relax.
You chose...
Destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Come in it.
Alas, they remain but slaves. Thus concludes the second act. Amidst an illusory harmony...
This is how Penacony fell under the family's control. Since the arrival of the...
This guy really loves dramatic scenes.
They used the planetary rings to establish the law, forging a code of conduct among the masses. A grand lyre with black and white keys served as an instrument, while symbols of articulation and numerical notation took the form of musical notes. The downward flowing river became a melody, and the canon of law dictated the form. Thus, all mortals found their unique place within this symphony. That marked the 5th and 6th days.
This guy is really into these puppets. Oh, I get it now. The last...
And the atmosphere here is
This is the concluding act of this play. I have showcased the past and present of Penacony, hoping that my desire for change resonates within you. And now, I shall reveal its future to you.
Hey, aren't we supposed to kick off a short story and have a fight here just...
Perhaps we'll need to
So, do you think their mind needs tinkering or something? did it go? You can't...
My apologies for my negligence.
Let our previous king recount it to you. Now it is time for the...
Prepare for battle.
In the hushed expanse of a nocturnal reverie, what is mine shall wane, while you shall...
This is the final scene. It's much more straightforward. Let's go. Once this stage play concludes,
they imbued the world with meaning, perfecting all things in the heavens and on earth. Then, they rested from the lake, yet all beings cried out to Enna. Under the banner of the Order, you have defined all. Thus, on that day, all beings united and cast the...
This grand theater looks totally...
Everyone, get ready.
That marked the seventh day. Cheers and chants reverberated in unison.
The stars shine bright. Praise the Great One. The Order is dead. The Order is dead. The Order is dead.
Look, there he is!
That concludes everything related to the Order. What are your reflections on this, Mike? Nevertheless, this is but a trivial blip in the annals of galactic history. You've arrived at the perfect moment. The Charmony Festival is about to commence, and it would be a shame if you were absent for the Allow me to extend my warmest welcome once more. Welcome to Penacony Theater, and the very place. Because our shared goals give equal weight to the beliefs true goodness can only be achieved through faith.
Allow me to point out that falling into a permanent slumber is not happiness. Especially when those people are...
Do you still believe that the Order only seeks to control the universe as their puppet, Himiko?
No matter how perfect your vision of paradise may be, a cage remains a cage.
People will never achieve true happiness in a world like that. They would just be toys for the Eon.
It seems you have misunderstood my intentions. Allow me to clarify. My sole objective is to create a paradise free from eons, where the Order ensures the dignity and happiness of all humanity.
That's not the case. If people are to live with dignity, there must be nothing and no one above them. In your so-called paradise, you would be the one reigning supreme.
Looks like we won't be able to convince each other. Now that our conflict has been However, before the prelude to the future begins, please take a... Is darkness equal to daylight? Are sinners equal to the righteous? If you are born weak, which god should you turn to for solace? I already know your decision.
I now permit you to gaze into the sun.
On these 107,336 stones, the almighty and powerful strings of harmony are at my disposal! The supreme tuner, harmonious choir, Dominicus! The time has come.
Creation will be reborn from the remains of the gods.
Danheng?
Radiant spirits, heed my word. Show no mercy!
Wake up! Wake up! Hey, wake up! Huh? Are you it does? Looks like your mind's still in one piece. If you're able to remember. It's a long story. Simply put, and then we return to reality. Everyone else has also returned from the dreamscape. Himeko and the rest are at the lobby discussing matters.
Hey.
What?
Nothing, Miss March. I noticed though the strike from the General was timely, its destruction was all but. Luckily for them, the dreamscape is my home turf.
Oh, so that's...
Don't mention it. After all, I wouldn't want to see such
Of course not.
Why would you think that?
Himeko and Mr. Yang are probably still busy. Let's go look for Danheng first. Boy.
You're awake. How do you feel?
Well, fork me. You must be that stealth.
Allow me to introduce him to you. This is Boot Hill, a Galaxy Ranger. During our pursuit of a certain person, we crossed, which is why we sought you.
No need for thanks. The Galaxy Ranger's principle is correct every injustice one sees. That's...
more or less.
Wait, hold on a sec. This is the first time I'm here.
Who was it again? No, that ain't it. I just can't...
What?
Heck. Forget about it. If it slipped all our minds, reckon that...
Yes. When the dust settles, everyone, let's hurry up and look for Miss Himiko, shall we?
You're right. Look, they're with the...
That's all right. In these times of conflict for the sake of utmost safety, it is only right that the Alliance steps forward to mediate on behalf of the Astral Furthermore, despite the IPC's eagerness for success, it prioritizes peace above all. And the family, trapped though it may be, professes a desire...
The General possesses a deep understanding of the greater good. With the Xianzhou Alliance...
You flatter me. But ultimately, it's been all down to the Express. Without... Well, would you look at that? Here's the galactic baseballer.
Are you okay? I heard you couldn't wake up.
Don't worry, Mr. Yang. There's nothing wrong with her. She practically... What about you, Mr. Yang? I heard that even Miss Robin wasn't...
It's, long... He used an ability called tuning to connect our consciousnesses with his. And thanks to General Jing Yuan's destruction...
He used that tuning on us, too!
I can confidently say now, he was truly after a fair fight with us.
Speaking of the open...
It's complicated, but in a nutshell, the IPC has named him the key figure in the family's Penacony split, citing a threat to cosmic peace. He must represent the family and answer. The family quickly labeled him and the remnants of the Order as enemies, declaring the turmoil an internal rebellion. This move...
Everyone really has their own...
Then, what's going to happen to Miss Robin? Is she... Why the side...
I can only say that this incident is an unexpected mess for the girl. The Alliance... It's time, everyone. The IPC's key members and I have agreed to consult one another before the...
Given the General's invitation and the matter's significance to the universe, the crew will naturally accept.
Why, of course you're welcome. They've mentioned that your team is a trusted ally of the IPC in Penacony. So, besides, if there can be reliable observers from the Astral Express present...
I'm kind of allergic to those types of situations.
Not to worry. Himiko.
I'm afraid I'll also have to return to the Express first.
Thank you. What about you?
Although I'm not too sure of the reason, the representatives from the IPC have insisted on her presence. The negotiation will commence at the hotel lobby. Everyone please, follow me.
Mr. Aventurine and Miss Topaz are here too. Oh, and who is that over there?
It's been a while, my Astro. I would also extend my sincere thanks to you, General of the Lafu. The presence of...
Oh. Looks like everyone...
Of course. Sure. Leave it to me. In summary, it's good news. After much deliberation from the in light of long-term considerations for interastral peace, and by authority of Pierpoint HQ, the Strategic Investment Department, on behalf of the interastral...
Now then.
Well, if that's what...
Has the IPC finished sharing all? The Guild, much like the Genius Society, has taken a keen interest in the recent calamity in Penacony. Ultimately, the floor is yours for the finer points, Mr. Screwlum. Enlighten us.
Organic life's unrelenting search to understand the realm of inner spirituality is something I both admire and envy. In organic life, every time, within the realm of imagination, there emerges a fire from the shadows. It is war. Alas, they are nothing but projections of my thought system to me. Desired, but unattainable. But after learning of Penacony's, after deliberations with my partners, we have decided to defer the progress of the Simulated Universe project, and instead assist the intelligentsia.
Not only that, we've also established contact with the Garden of Recollection through the IP. I'm truly happy for the Dream Chasers on Penacony. The cosmos' brightest and, let's admit...
Agreed. It's hard to imagine Never mind.
No wonder everyone insisted that she be there.
It heartens me to learn that everyone is willing to put aside their differences for Penacony's plight. Looks like Penacony's future is decided.
Peace is our greatest wish.
Well, that's good. Now that everyone's minds are at ease.
If that's the case, it appears that we...
Sounds good to me.
You two head back to the Express first. I'll pick up March and deal with the checkout procedure. Oh,
You've been with us this whole time, huh? Let's go. Our time on
Penacony's journey ends here.
Well, seems the dust is finally settled now.
I am truly happy for the Dream Chasers on
This is all due to your heroic deeds in Penacony. Everyone's been moved by...
Ahem! Looks like everyone's present.
There's a meeting to decide our next stop.
Hold your horses, cowboy.
Allow me to explain. Mr. Boothill and Miss Blacks, as you all may know, the Astral Express never declines any passenger whose heart yearns for the
Whoa, the Express is going to be much livelier now.
Understood, Miss Marge.
Don't. All right. Now that everyone's met everyone, Firstly, Pom-Pom wishes to thank everyone. If it weren't for you all unearthing the truth, what they had to go through was regrettable. But I reckon they all fulfilled their wishes. Now then, we come to the crux of this navigation meeting. We must decide on the Express's... The first choice is from Himiko, the oceanic planet of Lushaka, a planet composed entirely of water. Many aquatic races reside there. Of course, the second choice is the agate world Melustanen, suggested by Welt. It's famed as one of the initial sites of the Stellaron disaster. And the third choice is Edostar, a planet nestled within a vast ion storm region, currently under assault by the Ant. The last choice, courtesy of Black Swan, is the glass belt Petravia, a massive belt of asteroids that was turned to glass by the Lord Raven.
Ooh, so...
Next up, everyone will select the destination.
This trip to Penacony has allowed me to see another side of the Stellaron disaster. In terms of symbolism, the state of the dreams...
That makes sense.
I personally think the situation on Edostar might...
March is right. Though the fact that the distress signals have ceased means we're probably too late.
3 votes for the agate world. Looks like we have a winner. Next up, then this navigation meeting is adjourned. I'll go check when it's time to make the jump.
There's still some time before the jump. What should I do?
How about it?
Please let this trip be uneventful. Please let this trip be uneventful. Please. The last couple of trailblazing expeditions have been downright terrifying. It's about... Come on, start praying with me. Please let this trip...
Oh, you're here. How about it? There's a rich scent of curiosity. So, how about you hand that? Oh? I just... Still, before I explain, I would like to apologize to you. Remember when we entered the hotel in the dreamscape for the first time? This way, I can always be attuned to your location. But this is light cones or slices of light used to encapsulate solidified phenomena. This empty, it can etch your memories in their most vivid form. And then, all the world is born from the power of mind and soul. And that power is memory. To prevent ourselves from being forgotten by the world, we must make the life, seemingly vast, offers but a scant collection of impactful memories. Some memory is a reflection of the future. Within that reflection, I see your unparalleled, and that memory will be as precisely. But do you know the reason is simple? In this grandiose and ostentatious... Patience. Turn around and take a look at your friends. Every one of them is reveling. I'm looking for an opportune time. A time when you're totally at ease. How about one fine night? I will prepare the candles, aromatics, and even a cushy couch to create...
Ahem! Ha! The express is about to make the jump! Please be seated and
It looks like we're finally about... that's right. As a small life is akin to a winding labyrinth, we're... In the year 2158 of the Amber Era, the first year of the new epoch, the universe resumed its intended trajectory. The kindling of conspiracy smoldered in Penacony, the land of the dreams. Failing to erupt into a blaze, it instead flickered briefly on Klapoth's anvil, before vanishing in the blink of an eye. The dead and those fated to die remain in their eternal slumber, while the living find solace in deep sleep. All clamored in a cacophony of silence, and then went about their own ways. The cosmos emanated a vitality characteristic of a new era, all for the modest price of a brother and sister's mild grief. Babies are born as stars extinguish. the Silver Rail unfolds. The story of the Astral Express comes to a close, yet it also embarks anew. Time marches forward, heralding the arrival of a new chapter in the history of trailblazing expeditions. Countless shooting stars streak the sky tonight. If you can pick your feeling there, it's time to tell you well, let's start with a conclusion. The crew was defeated in the battle against Sunday, but don't panic. The truth, as horrifying as it may be. Next, I'll use this empty light cone that carries all your memories to relive everything that happened before. There's a major flaw in the story you have experienced. Are you ready for it? Do you remember everything? When the clock turned back, the Express started a warp jump, sending you to a strange dream. When you arrived at the Reverie Hotel, you met the doorman Misha and had a confrontation with Aventurine. After that, you saved Firefly and explored Penacony together. During the tour, you ran into Spark. There, I rescued both of you from death, but Firefly didn't return to reality. She realized the truth and tried to involve you in her plan. But that resulted. The 2 cases of death prompted you to investigate the truth behind the sweet dream. Despite your efforts to gather information about. Meanwhile, Aventurine was secretly carrying out his scheme, in which you were one of the pawns. In the midst of that strike, foiled Aventurine's plan and opened a passage between the sweet dream and the original memory zone. Upon your arrival at Dreamflux Reef, you split up with Sunday and Robin, looking for a way to seal the Stellaron. However, it turned out that Sunday and the Dream Master had their own hidden agenda. Finally, the story reached its conclusion. You emerged This marks the end of the thrilling journey in Penacony. I'm sure the major flaw, which contradicts all the known information. Are you suggesting that the sleeping and shapeless never bestows its gift? That's a very astute guess. But unfortunately, Acheron, I'll discard that incorrect answer for you. Take your time and think it through. Well, although the fake deaths of those 2 ladies, I'll go ahead and eliminate. Little Misha. He's only a segment of memory in a dream bubble, while Misha is a rather special memory. A life born in the memory zone could never manifest in reality. So, the answer is simple. He is the one fatal variable that contradicts all are still true. Wake up, sleepyhead. Break free from this eternal dream and return.
The train is about to make the jump. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Not another one. Thank you so much, Black Swan.
Finally, I can breathe.
I understand you must be confused, and will do our best to shed light on the situation. However, this place is the rift between dream and reality. A place reserved only for those who have awakened from Enna's dream.
Do you remember Sunday's ambitious plan? He intended to harness the...
Unfortunately, it didn't stop there. From the early days of our journey into Asdana, we were already affected by the Stellaron. That strange dreamscape where we met. I don't think the goal of the Order was to put everyone into a deep sleep. Quite the contrary. And that included a lot of memoria from the Beyond the Sky Choir. As time came and went, the dreams eventually became indistinguishable from reality. And reality became an...
This is what makes Enna's dream so powerful. In this paradise governed, I believe, what you experienced in the sweet dream, except for that flaw, was real. Only in this way could you reach the destination. If it wasn't for Acheron's plan, we might have been...
Fortunately, while the path of the Order governs all things, it can't affect the Nihility. I came to realize this when the Dream Master tried to
This is also why you felt a sense of peculiarity when... Well, I'm not as fortunate as she is. Even if, however, thanks to your
For mortals, even if they possess the great power of a path, they can't create... That's why there was a flaw in your dream. In other words, once you have realized the world is not real...
The flaw in your dream lies within Misha, who could have never appeared in reality.
Now Sunday has usurped the power of the Harmonious Choir through the Charmony Festival. Asdana has thus fallen into Enna's dream. Failure doesn't mean weakness. Only the strong can gather the will to... We still have a chance, though. To make it happen.
All right, please come with me.
These people are... They're the ones who accept Enna's dream and indulge in their happy illusions. We have no means to wake them up now. Not even your clockwork could do the trick. However, there are still other things we can do. Let's keep going.
Here we are.
Finally, you've arrived.
Let me introduce you to Robin. She woke up from Enna's dream by her own will, and it's this tough lady who led us here with her song.
I woke up for the same reason as all of you. In the dream, I experienced something that couldn't...
Are we going to lock it up in a cage?
Without us, this bird would be too fragile to survive on its...
No, but...
Then let's take care of it together until it can return.
Huh?
Birds have wings because they're meant to fly. Birds belong to the sky.
The illusion was so impossibly blissful, and this is our final hope. Enna's dream is founded upon the Harmonious Choir. Namely, everyone shared wishes. At present, it has become impervious due to people's desire to remain slumbering within the dream. We must make everyone in Penacony want to wake up.
Now comes the tricky part. How? Humans yearning for sweet illusions borders on obsession. Therefore, I carefully selected a moment where she was completely unguarded, guiding her to uncover. However, to wake up everyone in Penacony and get them to share the same determination, that...
Indeed. I'm afraid it's almost as difficult as resurrect.
But we can't just stay here and do nothing.
This is a critical moment for the whole universe. Who cares about some...
Thanks to Black Swan.
You're welcome. And thanks to the Memo Keepers and Penacony.
This is the first step of our plan. With the assistance from the Garden of Recollection.
However, awakening a mere handful of individuals is insignificant compared to the vast number of people.
If breaking through from the inside proves challenging, we can seek assistance from the... Asdana is a galaxy known for its abundant memoria, and the remarkable phenomenon known as synesthesia dreamscape. At this very moment, there is only one dream, and...
So, you mean, if we can attract a large number of outsiders to this system...
However, those outsiders might also succumb to the dream and become the foundation of the Order instead.
Looks like the Jade Abbot is...
No. Keep your once-in-a-lifetime treasure. We don't need to bother the Cienjo Alliance for such a... Just leave it to us, Galaxy.
You can gather
Outsiders may see Galaxy Rangers as elusive. Do you know what...
It's the relic I returned to you.
Exactly. Its owner must have told you that it's meaningless to anyone other than a Galaxy Ranger, because it's a burial artifact. Worthy only of a hero who has served the Galaxy Rangers with countless meteors will streak across the sky. Those meteors are Galaxy Rangers, coming from all the shooting stars of the hunt only descend on the longest. We've stayed silent for far too long. Now, it's time to remind all the cowards.
Once the dreamscape is swayed, I'll complete the second step. I'll fine-tune the slumbering souls with the Song of the Harmony, interrupting them with the discord of trail. It's true that some people are born strong, and others are born weak. If the Trailblaze is the target, their path of happiness should be forged by themselves. While I may not be a nameless, this includes my brother as well. Anna's dream.
Your plan sounds well conceived, but still, it appears...
I agree with you, Black Swan. That's why the most critical aspect of this plan, but to inspire them to save themselves.
So, you're the key.
The Harmonious Choir possesses the power of an emanator. To overcome it, you'll need the same level of power. The final step in destroying the sweet dream.
That's a relief to hear.
Now that our roles are assigned, let's get to our battlefields and pose a grand finale.
May I have a moment alone with you? There's one more thing I need to explain to you. This grand festival is drawing to its close. This is the starting point for the ultimate stage of our journey. Just as it marked. Only by reflecting on our steps can we remember the path we should... There's something you should know. We were able to locate you within this boundless dream and find the key to breaking free from the dream. All because of one person's unwavering Firefly. She awakened from the dream ahead of others, discovered the Express amidst the stars, and brought us valuable information about the remnants of the Order. She may have been aided by the script, and it came... As you know, Firefly is a stowaway who entered the dreamscape in a different way from ours. Without the dream pool in the hotel, we mustn't fail her determination. I'm not implying that we must win this fight no matter what, but our resolve should match that of that courageous lady. Are you ready? Very well. Now.
How long?
If I remember correctly, it is the unwavering determination of the Hunt followers persists even in death. But thankfully, we've guided those lost souls to their lives beyond. You see, the shadows on the sea have vanished. Do you...
But...
I know.
So, why did this...
Because someone's mortals who walk the paths are like sailors on a vast ocean, leaving behind a trail that creates count. And for some, their presence leaves such a strong mark that it's reflects sin-thirsters, the obsessions of the Pathstriders. They emerge from the depths of Ix. Seeing them, they emerge from the nihility and head toward it. They have journeyed with me for such...
Oh, is this it?
Yes. This is my duty. As Acheron, the Watcher, I'm guarding the path to the abyss of the nihility, guiding every soul reluctant to become one with it. Back to this side.
But if this is what the departed ones
I don't know. But someone would stand at his grave.
Even if...
Some tasks have to be done. Even if they are pointless. Please extend your hand. I'll carry your wish with me and fulfill it. Only then will I...
Will I?
Yes. Because it was you who told me about the Express. Your two former companions. The expedition cut short by the swarm. Your narrow escape from death. And Penacony. The hometown to which...
Yeah. For countless times, but I knew that my companion was still betrayal.
Take my hand and come with me. You'll embark on a long, long journey, shrouded in that's the color of existence. Follow.
Thank you.
May death be the end of your boundless dream. Guiding you back to the waking. Welcome to the This place is one of the thousands of manifestations belonging to the sleeping and shapeless. Let's bid our final farewells.
Always distinguish between reality and imagination. All right, Greg.
Life is akin to a winding labyrinth where memories serve as our...
May your schemes be forever concealed.
Anna's dream is too cruel for him, and it
To the imperfect tomorrow.
I still remember the question on the invitation letter. Why?
Why does life slumber? We don't know the answer yet. Or perhaps leave this place. Return to where you belong. As I said, our plan is not about convincing everyone to choose the right path. The answer is when they are like a drowning individual in the deep sea. When one's body and mind bear immense, the fragility of humankind often freezes them in their tracks. But in truly desperate situations, it's through this inherent, self-centered instinct that people exert their utmost effort, even when they know their struggle is fruitless, as for now. It is time to guide them, not as a savior, but as a nameless among. In this way, you will... The rain is intensifying. Before we part ways, so far, you have forged unbreakable bonds with numerous... Might I ask if you fear severing these bonds with your own hands? If there is a vast, lifelike dreamland that is virtually indistinguishable from reality, a realm without death, where everyone can attain the happiness and fulfillment they deserve, living blissfully. I would ask, would you wish to stay? Imagine if this splendid dream were fated to fall apart. Friends, family, stranger, everyone, and every face they remember. The joy and the heartaches, the vows sealed, and I would ask, would you still embark? I'm glad. The answer itself does. Listen, touch, and ponder. And therein lies the sensation. Cherish it, because that's what makes... If the nihility represents the primal fear of life, rendering any lofty convictions insignificant under their impulse, then behind this shadow, there must exist the most fervent source of... Just as every life that edges closer to death fervently approach, we must pursue that primordial light.
Now, come to think you exist in the nihility, such a task is
Nevertheless, someone had to do it, even if it's a meaningless task.
Even if the future you feel.
It may not belong to me, but it definitely
In that case, allow please. Perhaps my existence, what I believe in this universe.
For me, such is memory. A creation of the past that I remember that marks the start of my journey. The origin, that's my name. Raiden. Rosen Mori. May. The Golden Dream is getting restless. In the coming long nights, I'm afraid you will face many setbacks and witness many tragedies. And in the end, you will only see in black and white. But please believe me, that in that monochrome world, there will be a glimpse of fleeting red. And when you make a choice, it will appear once more. What you must do is ponder its significance, then return to the waking world.
That's where we all find our answers.
Have you broken free from the dream of order?
We've done enough sleeping already. Let's show them a wake-up call.
Awaken from your dream.
With this perfect melody I command, recreate paradise anew! Music.
There seems to be another kind of sound coming into the Order's symphony. Penacony's first and last disharmony. Those imprisoned in their dreams are awakening for freedom.
Robin, is that you singing?
You have heard their cries.
Even so, they don't know where they should be heading.
Even if that star must hang in a perpetual night of solitude.
Yet never experienced solitude. How could we have embarked on different paths? Now, our final talk has concluded. All the work of creation has been completed. The inevitable day has arrived. The embryo of philosophy will reshape for us all of reality. If your paradise can save more people, sever my path with your hands. My skin will become the foundation of our paradise. So, why does life slumber?
Because someday we will wake up from our dreams.
The night is still too short.
Brother, the dream is over.
In the first year of the AE 2158, a fiery conspiracy erupted in the land of the dreams, but soon faded in chaos and destruction. Whispers carried the tale of those fateful 48 system hours, when a sun teetered on the precipice of collapse. A paradise stood on the brink of destruction, and a world was poised to surrender to its new master. Amidst it all, a body decayed, a pack of vultures gathered, and a brother and sister were doomed for eternal separation. And so, an eon succumbed to slumber once more. Some celebrated this fall, while others mourned. Among the insignificant witnesses, mere specks in the vast tapestry of the universe, it was said that this time, the Eon met their demise with dignity. As the cosmos bathed in the radiance of a pure dawn, a tempestuous storm brewed on the horizon. The chant of everything for the Amber Lord grew ever louder. Yet, no matter how one contemplated, time inexorably swings Klapot's colossal hammer in eternal cycles. The tale of the Astral Express reaches both its conclusion and a new beginning. Time marches forward, heralding the arrival of a new chapter in the history of trailblazing expeditions.
Brother, do you think...
Where did that come up?
Because the constellation that looks like a bird...
It's the Torment Eagles. Don't worry, it's still there. It's just it's located in the inner ring of Pen. As for the question you asked, but do you know, sister? No star actually belongs to them even after the stars perish. Their light will travel millions of light years in our paradise. I believe there will be a star like that.
No, not just one star.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a deal!
It's a deal, then.
Yeah,
It's a pleasure to hear your voice again. Congratulations. You've become the...
Are you calling just to poke fun at me?
No. I'm just impressed. Not only did you venture alone into Penacony, and discover the truth of Dreamflux, remember the recording you received from your Trailblaze friend? It's now the most valuable chip in this game. However, this came at a high cost. Losing a cornerstone is...
Just as I expected. So is Diamond planning to...
Why don't you take a what?
Well, alright. Then I'll guess.
Alright.
Are we talking about a real bet here? I don't want to wager anything just to... But if it's just a friendly bet, I'll put on the line what I did when...
Interesting. I'm on my way to Penacony. Once everyone is settled, we'll return.
Sounds like I'll be out of the action for a while. Finally?
Yeah. Leave everything to me and Topaz, child. Thanks to you, as soon as the Jade Stone was delivered to the families, the seeds we planted have taken root. Soon, it'll be time to reap.
Huh? Let's wrap it up for now. Looks like I've got a visitor here. Oh, so many surprises today. Didn't expect a Galaxy Ranger and wanted criminal to show up here. One who managed to take out 2 IPC members under the noses of our fleet.
Screw wubba boo, I just put him to sleep. Don't try to intimidate me with that nonsense. Besides, I've taken down more IPC lackeys. I have a question for you. Be honest, or I don't mind putting a bullet. Tell me, where is Oswaldo Snyder?